Yay. Good. So we are live. Welcome one more time. I'm happy to have you here. I'm excited. If you are in the room, would you be kind to tell us where you are joining from today? I can see Blessing from Lagos. TT. Good evening, Toby. Good evening, Judah. Lion of the tribe of Judah. Good evening, Grace. Good evening, TT. Can you just drop in the chat window where you're calling from or joining from? Thank you, everyone. I'm also happy to see some very senior people here, and thank you to our guest speaker, the very first guest speaker. She's already in the room, even though she's had a lot of challenges and she has still made the sacrifice to be in the room. Thank you so much, Shola, for me. Happy to have you around, everyone. And without further delay, I guess it's good to start. But before we get started, I would like to hear some thoughts in the room from everybody who joined, from those who joined yesterday. Let's not be too quiet and let's not be shy. Let's not be ashamed. Thank you, Titi. Let's tell ourselves over the next 22 minutes what you learned yesterday and what you're looking forward to learn today. And please, let's do well to send our messages to our people. Tell them we are live. It's bound to be another exciting time tonight. So who's going to go first? What did you learn yesterday and what are you looking forward to learn today? Oh, my camera is off. Go ahead, Titi. Go ahead, Titi.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Titi.
Good evening, everyone. Yesterday was really an insightful session. From the very first speaker, I think from what she said, that most people would hate her for the way she do her coaching and all. Every question, I think from all the questions that she asked us yesterday, 30 questions, and I could only say yes for 2 out of 30. I think I had this self-reflection. I had to just like go back and start from the budgeting plan that she told us to do. Today, I think it was just full of, oh, this is what I need to do. Like I just started like researching, searching, just learning on what I need to do to like move forward. And I believe that today is going to be awesome also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you didn't cry.
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Any other person? Any other person before we get started? Any other person before we get started? Titi, you can put your hand down so that it doesn't ache you. Okay, the people in this room seem to be shy. That's okay. So any other person? Any other person? Any other person?
Yes, Grace from Lagos.
Okay, Grace.
Yeah, actually, I learned about financial planning for the future, for retirement, It is very, very key. And, it's like awakened me that I was sleeping before that. Hey, you've got to prepare, you've got to plan. Time is going. So that one really woken me up out of my sleep. And also I learned about investment. Then I have a little business talking about advertising from brother, that was Mr. David Agbola also, about advertisement, that it is very important. So I really keyed into that particular, that next year, by the grace of God, I must really advertise and let people know about what I'm doing and preparing for it, how to really advertise that one so that I can earn and earn and earn, spending money like Yoruba, that is Yoruba, like this. You use money to bring in money. So just spending a little bit, then to bring in a lot of money. So spending a little money for advertisement, will bring in more money. So I really learned about that one too. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. You. One more person. We are 2 minutes into the speaker's time, but I want to make sure that people are gaining from here. While we are waiting for the last person to talk, I'll use this opportunity to welcome some good friends. Dr. Blessing, thank you for joining. Uncle Shegun, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Rosalind, yeah, please go ahead. We have just 1 minute more. Okay, so all our speakers are matching in. I have 3 speakers in the room already. Okay, so Rosalind, yes, tell us what you learned. Unmute yourself and let's go before we let's go.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I learned a whole lot yesterday. One of which I learned was about investment, savings, and having 4 streams of income, which were digital product, digital service, physical product, physical service. I had to go through my self-analysis to see if I was able to meet up these 4 sources of income. I also learned about relationship, how to communicate, how to tolerate, and how to accommodate, have your self analysis as well. I learned about arts because I'm somewhat into digital marketing and all of that. So I learned so much about arts from Mr. David. I had a whole lot I learned today. Like I have like 7 pages of what I had written down
7
from the
pages.
sessions yesterday. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I wouldn't delay the speaker anymore. Our event store is ready. I'm going to drop the link in the chat window for you to go check out on the event store. The products from the various coaches are there. And there is a freebie that I have not completely uploaded, but before the end of the event today, excuse me, the freebie will be there. That is the freebie from Dr. Blessing. It's there, but if you click on it, it's not going to work. So I'm going to complete that in a few minutes before the end of the event. But she has dropped a free template for us, and I would encourage everybody to take that. Without further ado, welcome to Madam Wumi, and welcome to Madam Shola Fumisho Sonia. Camera, lights, check, great. Thank you. Shalafumi Shosanya is, if you go to Instagram, she is known as Wealth Motley on Instagram, and she's going to be talking to us on investment. So yesterday was financial planning. Today it's investments. You can try to share your screen, Shalafumi, and oh, great, she's in a spaceship, and you can try to share your screen, and yeah. So one good thing about her is that she doesn't just talk about investments. She has a different approach to investment in the sense that her perspective to investment is not the regular, everyday kind of investment. I wouldn't say too much now, but she actually encourages you to dare. And I will tell you what I meant by when she says you should dare. There are some things she talks about that typically normal people will not want to touch it when they talk about investments, but she has mastered it and she encourages people to go into it. So Shalafumi is based in the UK, though she does a lot for Nigerians back home, and she helps us to guide our investments, and she's really, really strong. So that I won't tell you the whole story that she's going to tell us, I'll leave the floor for her. Welcome. Do you want to check your microphone? Say hello, and we'll see if we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so she's Wealth Motley. You can see Wealth Motley on the top right there. Wealth Motley, that's her brand on Instagram, and she does a lot on investment over there. Okay, so without wasting her time, welcome, and over to you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Josie, and thank you everyone in the room. I'm always super excited when I get to talk about money because that's like, I feel like, money does a lot. In case that you don't know me, I'm Wealth Motley on Instagram, but please call me Shalafumi or Charles. That's what everybody calls me. I love simplifying investments and personal finance. That's what I do. I feel like that's my calling in life, apart from what I do, tech professional by day, investor 24/7. So many books, MBA, all of it, as you can think of, on investing. And today I'm really going to focus very critically on 2025. What should you be investing your money money in, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to show you exactly how, you know, the way that you talk to people and they say, oh, you see them making money and they're like, oh, we thank, when you say, how is this money coming, my brother? We thank God. It's true. We must thank God. But here, I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm investing money, exactly, you know, where people around the world are investing money, and what you too can do from anywhere you are in the world to ensure that your money is growing. So 6 buckets of places where you should invest your money in. You can see that number 6 you're already doing, which is yourself. For you to be in this session today, you're probably already investing in yourself in your 2025. Very critical. But I'm going to touch on the other 5 today for you. And I'm not just going to talk about them in an abstract phantom way. I'm really going to tell you exactly what some of them are doing, how much people who invested in them, you know, this year have made, and how you too can immediately start, you know, making money and start growing from it. So if you have any questions and please put them in the chat box. I have just 30 minutes to get through this. I'm going to try to get through it as fast as I can, but please feel free to ask questions and all, and I would see how many I can quickly answer and stuff. So first thing I would say you should invest your money in, and I hope you guys can see I hope you can see my screen, my presentation. I'm not talking to myself since, but everybody can see my screen. Please let me know.
You can see your screen. You can see your screen. Go ahead.
Beautiful. Okay. So the first thing is exchange traded funds, ETF. I'll tell you about that. Individual stocks. These are US stocks. All of the Apple, Amazon, Samsung, all of those great companies that you know, use and love. How you can buy their shares. In REITs. REITs are real estate investment trust and fractional real estate. I'm sure that there are people in this room who have property, and I'm sure there are people who cannot put together 100K to buy one property. So I'll be able to talk on how you can start to invest in properties around the world, in UK, US, and co, starting from as little as $5, $10, and in Naira as well. So it's very easy. I also talk about fixed income and the top hot one, cryptocurrencies. I'm just going to touch on all of this. So please, hopefully that if you cannot, I hope everybody can follow me, but if you can't, I hope that, you know, you can get a recording of this. A stock, very easily, a tiny piece of ownership in a company. Think of it as like having a slice of a pizza. So all these companies we know, Apple, GCB, and co, you can be an owner. I see that a lot of us, we're used to consumers, we're used to using a service, using Apple, going to bank with GT and co, but we're not used to owning it. And that's where that's the mindset I want us to go into 2025. And that's the mindset I always teach people, that we need to stop thinking like consumers. We need to start thinking like owners. And you can own something even with your $5, your $10. And when I say dollars, all the investment I'm going to tell you today can be done with your Naira. Most of those apps will convert to dollars for you. So it's not like you need to go and get dollar. Please excuse me if I cough a bit. I've had a bit of an infection for a while, for the last couple of days, so I'm just recovering. But I couldn't disappoint Tosin, so that's why I'm able to make it today. And then you can buy all this, you know, stocks and everything I'm going to speak about. You can buy them on stock exchanges around the world. I focus more on the US stock market because I believe it's which of course is the largest by far in the world, and I believe it's the most consistent and the one that has generated most billionaires across the world today. And there's no reason why you two cannot be stupendously wealthy if you're able to invest, if you're able to follow some simple rules that I'll share with you today, and if you're able to consistently just build your wealth. Okay, so very quickly, why should you buy shares and ETFs? You want to make money. You want to get dividend payments. Some of the shares that I invest in give as much as 10% dividend in a year. So that means that if I invest, I remember these stocks are in dollars. So that means that if you invest in them today, and at the end of the year, you can get, you know, 10% of your money for free. That's the beauty. Dividends are free. It's liquid. A lot of people want to sell houses. They say, oh, real estate is the best. Beautiful. True. Real estate is fantastic. But how liquid is it to sell a house? There's a house that was in front of my house, it was in front of my house when I was living in Magodo in Nigeria. And for over 3-4 years that I was living there, they couldn't sell that house. It was 180 million. It's not very liquid. But you see, stocks, ETFs, and co, they are extremely liquid. Even if you have $1 million there, you can sell your $1 million today, and then your money is credited into your investment account that same day. By 2 to 3 days, it has hit your own physical account. So it's very liquid, fast, easy to do. It outflanks inflation. I'm sure you guys know. I mean, dollar at the beginning of the year was how much? How much is it today? I mean, I put a post up was it 2 days ago or just yesterday, about how much dollar was, you know, in 2014, in 2022, in 2023, and where we are now. The difference is like night and day. So just the fact that just by putting your money there, when I started buying stocks, when the first app came in Nigeria and I was able to buy stocks on it in 2019, that was on Bamboo app. Dollar was 365, 50. 350, but they were doing 360 on the app. And I remember telling my friends that, oh my God, that you guys, we can finally buy shares in Nigeria. Before I had to use foreign apps, but now it's in Nigeria, we can buy and co. And they were like, oh, what shares are you buying? I said, I'm buying Apple, Tesla, you know, Shopify, a couple of different companies that I was investing. And everyone was like, dollar is expensive. I cannot do dollar. Let me just wait for the dollar to come down. This was November 2019. I can never forget. Till next year, the dollar has not come down. So for everybody waiting for it to come down, the Lord is your muscle. You can wait or you can be investing while at it. Those people who started investing then, just by the fact that our money is in dollar alone, we've beat inflation. Our money has quadrupled thereabouts. Talk less of now the gains that come with investing in the right investments that I would share with you very plain today. I always say that I'm one of those people that I don't know how to sugarcoat and co. Your money being invested is not going to hold my money. So let us share it out. The more all of us become wealthy, the better for us. Please, if you guys are following me, let me know in the comment section. Please put it in the chat box that we are following. We can hear you, we listen, and we can understand what you're saying. Yeah. And the final thing is you're investing to save for your retirement. It is your long term. I believe that we overestimate how much, yes, thank you. We overestimate how much we can make in 2 years, 3 years, and we vastly underestimate how much we can make in 10 years, 20 years. And the stock market is designed for long-term people. I'm going to show you exactly what people like you and me, like me, I cannot even lie, I've made this year and the last couple of years. You see those things. It's not gimmick. And I want you that when you finish this course tomorrow, if it's 10,000 naira you have, if it's 20,000 naira you have, please go and take it, go and start buying some stock and be consistent. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I see my people are following. Thank you, guys. I can see that you're following. Okay, so next off, what are fractional shares and ETF? I've touched on it already. Fractional shares, very importantly, if you see a stock now that the stock of, let's say, Apple or something, and one stock is like $250, people are already like, I can't afford it. $250. How much is all the money I have to invest? Beautiful. That's where fractional shares come in. Fractional shares mean that you can buy a tiny piece of a tiny stock. So meaning that with your $100, you can buy as much as 10 companies. 20 companies. You can buy shares of $5, $10. That's what fractional shares is. So it's a very simple way, and it's made the stock market very accessible to you and me. I remember when I started buying stocks, my dear, I bought stocks of Apple of 1,500 naira. I always tell people it's not shame. Extra 1,500 was mean. I say, what's this money doing here? Let me move it. Bamboo is waiting. And I do it. And today I know how my money is growing. So I want you to also think like that and see that fractional shares, fractional ETF is an excellent way, for you to immediately start investing. It's no longer for the wealthy alone. So far you can afford $10, $20, you can afford to start investing. Yeah. Now, this is one of the biggest things I'm going to teach you today, or secrets I'm going to teach you today. If you've been following me, some people already call me Mama ETF. It's very easy. Exchange traded funds, stock exchange traded funds. An ETF is basically a basket of stocks or a basket of securities that trade on the stock market like a stock. What do I mean by that? The top 500 companies in America, the easiest way for me to explain it to you, top 500 companies in America, lots of companies are on that top 500 companies in America. Now, imagine you put all those companies, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Meta, all of them, pound it together in one, mortar. Pound it like pounded yam. Now, if you take only one bite of the content of that pounded yam, you've taken a tiny piece of all 500 companies in it. That's what exchange traded funds are. For every company that is in that fund, once you buy one stock, one share of that ETF, you have bought a tiny piece of all the companies in it. So meaning that the example I gave you, the top 500 companies in America, is called the S&P 500. Yeah. If you buy one share of an ETF that tracks that, you have bought a tiny piece of all the 500 companies in it. And for as far back, and ETFs are excellent because as much as there are companies in the world, there's ETFs for it. Yeah. Very quickly, What I love about ETFs as well, and I want to make sure I let you know before I go into some of them and the types of it, and for you to know why this is an excellent way that even Warren Buffett is telling people that don't bother picking individual stocks, go and look for ETFs, go and buy them, go and invest in them, and you will see why you make money. ETFs has what we call low expense ratios. The traditional ETF has, the expense ratio or the commissions you pay on it is like 0.05%, 0.04. Whereas if you buy mutual funds, which I'm sure there are people in this room, if I said type in the comment section now, how many people have been, or how many people have, bought mutual funds and co in this room? There will be people who say, I bought Stanbic, I bought a First Bank, good. Is good, but most of those funds they charge you maybe 1 point something, and they'll think, and then when you want to go, they'll say exit fee, that fee and co. That does not happen with ETF. Remember, you buy it on the stock market like a stock. It's like you're buying a share of Apple, but instead of Apple now, you're buying a share of 500 companies in one. Yeah, that's how ETFs work. And because their expense ratio, because they're what we call passively managed, their expense ratios or their commissions are so low. When something is 1%, they're telling you it's just 1%, and you think how 1% is low, but this one, an exchange traded fund that you buy multiple companies in one is 0.0 something percent. So meaning 25% less. So your 1% is like 25 times the commission you pay than a 0 point something percent. That's why that exchange traded funds to me is the hidden way for a lot of people to make money that we are not taking advantage of. Yeah. Why should you love them? Diversification, instantly diversified. So that means that out of these top 500 companies that I've given you as an example, if you buy those 500 companies, let's say that out of those 500, 300 companies want to be unfortunate in 1 year. They decide that they crash. So that means there's still 400 and something companies to cover for it. So that's the difference. So that means that if you invested all your money and say, Apple is such a great company, which I invest in, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a great company, but Apple is only 1 or 2 funds away from the stock going down, dropping 20%, 30%. Amazon is just one serious issue away from the stock dropping. But when you buy ETF, you are buying a bulk of companies. So if one company, that company crash, other ones will make up for it. As a matter of fact, the way the index are developed, if this company doesn't meet the criteria to be a top 500 company anymore, it is removed and another company is used to replace it. That happens every single year. If some companies don't meet indexes, they're removed. Yeah. It's lower cost, like I told you. It's very simple, easy to trade. You buy, you sell. I was talking to someone, said, oh, I have this ETF. It's a $500,000 and I'm scared though. When I want to sell, I said, my dear, ETFs have billions. Some of them have trillions of dollars in there. So your $500,000 is not even going to shake. Talk less of us that are investing our, $10, $50 as we see it. So you see that it's very easy. It's also very tax efficient. It's accessible and it's transparent. Transparency is very important. If I show you the first ETF now, I can tell you for a fact that if you put $100 into that ETF, you are $7 out of your $100 is going to Apple stock. $6 out of your $100 there is going to Nvidia. You are buying everything in one. Yeah. Okay. So now, what are these types of ETF? It shows you, see this tool I'm teaching you about that I shout about. I'm telling you because it is so useful. What are these types of ETFs? For as many as their industries or companies in the world, there's ETFs that track it. There's bond ETF. These are filled with different type of government bonds, corporate bonds and co. all together. There's industry ETFs. These are ETFs that track industries. So if you're someone that loves gold and you want to invest in gold companies, instead of you buying individual gold, doing all of these things, you can buy an ETF that has multiple gold companies in it. There's ETF for technology. If you're someone that likes technology, there's ETF that tracks it. There's ETF for AI, filled with AI companies, different companies that are into AI. There's ETF for it. There's ETF for energy. Think of it in the world. There's ETFs themed towards it. There's commodity ETFs as well. Crude oil, natural gas. There's currency ETFs, Forex, all of those. There's inverse ETFs. Please don't do this one. These are those ones that like to do, risky stuff, that do shorting the market, betting against the market. All of those things exist. It's all just for you to know that there is this instrument that helps you and make things easier for you. Yeah. So I'm now going to give you some ETFs that we love at Wealth Motley. I've ranked them from low risk to high risk, but just know that with ETF, your risk is already sort of tailored down because it makes life, there's already multiple companies in one. Guys, are you following me? Are you getting some value? Let me know in the comment section already if you guys are here But now we're going to go into the money discussion. Let me know in the comments if you guys are listening. You guys are going with me? Good, good, good. Yes. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you. Okay. So like I've said, I don't lie. I tell you exactly where I'm putting my money. I'll show you where. Please go out, go and research. Go to Google. As I'm typing here, go to Google, go and check it out and say, is this auntie lying? Is he the truth? Is this how people are making money? My dear, this is how people are making money. This is how people are making generational wealth. You remember what Tobore mentioned yesterday, all those questions. My cocoa is, if you decide that from today, I'll be taking out 20%, 30% of my money, and that's how you should be living, and investing it in these ETFs I'm giving you today. Go and say that you met a lady that lied to you on the internet, that go and do. I'm telling you, if you are able to say per month, you're putting 100K, 50K, something, you will be a millionaire in dollars. Give yourself 20, 30 years, and that's how a lot of people are making money in the US, in different parts of the world, just by consistent investing. I'm telling you exactly where today. I'm not even holding anything, exactly where you can do this. So the first one is the VOO. This is the S&P 500. This tracks the top 500 companies in America. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Think of all the top companies that you can think of in the world. This company tracks them. It usually has about 507 to 508 companies. And think of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway is Warren Buffett's company and co. This year alone, this ETF, if you invested in January, your money will have grown by 28%. Yeah, and remember, these things are in dollars. Even though you can buy them with your Naira, it's converted on the app. They're in dollars. So that means that this your 28%. You've made it in dollars. It's not in Naira. So I think dollar in the beginning of the year was 1,001 or something. I'm not sure. What is this? If I quickly check what it was. But by doing this, by investing your money in this ETF, by the beginning of the year, you'll have made 25%. In the last 5 years, it has done 90%. Like Belaifa, without lifting a muscle, your money is growing. You also get some dividends from it. In the last 10 years, you'll have made up to 191% of your money. It's as simple as that. When I say these things, people feel like, oh, this is how people are steady. Remember, you're not lifting a muscle. You're not doing anything. I always tell people, no matter how strong you are, you cannot work 24 hours a day. It's impossible. You get tired, you start forgetting things. But you see your money, it will work for you, work for your children's children, work for, and if you spend it and invest it wisely, your money will continue. That's why we hear the names of Rockefellers and a lot of people like that, now, because they invested their money consistently. So what I'm telling you now is gospel truth. This is ETF that people invested their money. This is even a low risk one. It's not even an ETF that's straight, because these are the top 500 companies in America. Some people will say, what if all the 500 companies crash? My dear, if all the top 500 companies in America has crashed, best believe that by this time, all of us should move back to our villages, because World War III has started. World War Tishele. So all of us should just be praying to Jesus or to Allah that they should spare our life and the life of our children. But if not, these 500 companies cannot crash. Like I told you, if 20 companies, 30 companies decide to crash out of it, there are others that will cover for it, yeah? The next one, I always tell people, you see this next ETF, if they were going to ever ask you and say, what is the source of any money Sholafumi has in their life? My dear, it is rooted in this simple ETF. This ETF is called the VGT ETF. It tracks the top technology companies in America. It has about 300 and something companies in it. This ETF has Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Nvidia, MasterCard, PayPal, great companies, lots of them, 300 and something of them. In this year alone, if you put your 100,000 Naira in January, your 100,000 will have become 133,000. But remember, you'll have put it in dollars. So it will have appreciated in dollars and then also added on 33%. It's no gimmick. Go and check Yahoo Finance, as I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying. In the last 5 years, it's made 168%. In the last 10 years, it's made 501%. That means whatever you invested 10 years ago, it has done five times its value. Remember, in dollars. Remember how much dollar was 10 years ago. Imagine putting $10,000 there 10 years ago. How much you will have accumulated and co. This is how you can easily track this. Go to Yahoo Finance or just Google it online. Just type Vanguard Information Technology. Google will give you the numbers straight up. It's very easy. There's nothing like this. Is very public information, nothing being hidden about it. And I hope that we are really listening. Yeah. On it. Let's go to the next one. So like I told you before, let me go back to VGT is where I put like 70% of my money. 70% of my money is in VGC. 60 to 70% of any money I make that is for investing, I put it in this because I believe in technology is what is going to change the world. And it has never felt, I mean, if I've started putting my money there 10 years ago, my money has already made 500%. My money is growing steadily without me lifting a muscle, and it still pays some form of dividend as well. Yeah. Sorry that I'm rushing. I want to make sure I get through this in the 30 minutes, that I have. Now, there's also the SMH ETF. This is a more risky ETF. The way I mix my ETF and portfolio up is I add some small risk, I add some low risk, and I balance it out. This is some of my high risk investment. But even when I say it's high risk investment, it's an investment that has 26 companies in it. It follows semiconductors. If you're very confident, conversant with semiconductors, you know that these are the bakeries of the technology world. All of our phones, all of our laptops, all of graphics, all of those things are powered by semiconductor companies, and investing in them has been extremely profitable and will continue to be. That's where companies like Nvidia, AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, all of them come in. This particular ETF, it has 26 companies in it. In this year alone, it has done 46%, almost 50%. Like Belaifa, sorry, I don't know how they say like Belaifa in English. In other languages, but in English, loosely translates to without me lifting a muscle, without me stressing, my money has gone by itself to make 46% for me, and I can withdraw it today. It's not anything. So far the stock market is open, I can withdraw it. In the last 5 years, it's done 252%. In the last 10 years, it has done over 8%, over 8 times whatever money you invested. Let me be clear. So that means if you put your $10,000 or your 10,000 naira 10 years ago, or your 100,000, your 100,000 now will have become 940 something thousand without you doing anything. And remember, all of these things are in dollars and they are very easy to do. Yeah, I hope you guys are following me. Please, if you are like I said, feel free to Google all this information I'm giving you. They are all there, and I just don't know why a lot of us don't understand or don't see these things. Yeah, this is the final risky ETF that I add into my portfolio. Let me explain. When I say something is risky, it's already sort of, because it's an ETF, it's already multiple companies in one, yeah? But what I do with this thing is, if I have 100,000 naira and I'm putting my money, oh, thank you for putting it out. You can already start seeing what I'm saying. And I'm putting 5 naira, I have 100,000 naira to invest. In this risky one, I will put $5 or something. 5,000 naira. In the one that is medium risk, like the VGC that I told you about, I'll put 70% of my money or 60% of my money. In the VOO, I'll put 30%. I always make sure to split it to give myself some leeway, because anything that is more risky is definitely much more valuable. You just much more rewarding. You just need to be able to stomach the risk. So it's about, saying this USD ETF that I'll tell you about now, how much can I put in it? Very little money that I can add into it now. So this ETF is what is called ProShares Ultra Semiconductor ETF. You see the last one that I showed you, which is the SMH. This one does 2 times whatever that one does. So meaning that any day that particular ETF grows by 1%, this one grows by 2%. Yeah. Any day that one loses 2%, this one will lose 4%. In the last 1 year, it has grown by 144%. And I kid you not, I put $10,000 into this thing in December last year, and don't think is that big. If you had put your 100,000, 5,000, and those who have $100,000, if you have put it there, it will have done the same thing. In December last year, I know that as at June this year, I took out all my initial investments, took out all my money that this one that they have voted Trump, in case the money want to disappear or something. Let me take out my money. I've taken it out. The Ojowo is still growing 144%. And I kid you not, these are things you should be able to Google today and see by yourself. In the last 5 years, it's grown 783%. In the last 10 years, if you put your money into it, your money will have done 30 times what you put in it. 30 times what you put in. You put 100K into this ETF in the last 10 years, that money will have become 3 million without you lifting a muscle. Guys, are you following me? This information I'm sharing, oh boy, I don't even leave my slides. I'm sharing it so that we know. Are you guys listening? Does it make sense? Are you guys understanding that there is ways that people are creating generational wealth in this world from their 50K, from their 30K, from their 40K? And you should not be sleeping. You should be waking up and seeing that there is money to be made. Yeah. Okay. Next up. So that's about ETF. Now, what are some other stocks and ETF that I wanted to check out? BKCH, this invests in Bitcoin. This ETF has done 60-something% this year. DAP has also grown exponentially this year. AIQ ETF invests in AI companies. It's done over 50% this year. QQQ tracks the top 100 tech companies. The other one I told you, 300 and something. QQQ tracks the top 100 companies of the NASDAQ. It's grown by also 30-something%. Then look at some companies that I personally invest in. Fun fact, you see this companies, this particular slide, I presented it to a team that I went on holiday with in March this year. And they've come back to say thank you, because every single company on this slide has made money this year. Amazon has done almost 50%. Google has done almost 50%. WinBIG has done more than that. Unicredit has done that. Tesla has done almost 90 to 100%. Nvidia has done 200 and something%. Meta, Apple, Opera, all of them has done at least 50%. That means you put your 100K into it in January, you're looking at 150K. Guys, there is money to be made. You just need to be disciplined and know exactly where you're going. Yeah. Quickly moving on. Where do you buy these things? You see, like I told you in the beginning, I don't know how to be holding mouth. It's like, You see all these things I'm telling you, this is where you are going to go and buy it today. Go and click, go and say you met this girl, this is what she said. This is where you go and buy it. In Nigeria, Bamboo, Truve, Chaka. I personally use Bamboo because it's very simple and it's easy to get onto, and its commissions is one of the cheapest thereabouts. Truve is also okay, but Truve is a bit more complicated. But you can get all these things I've shared with you today. You can buy them on Bamboo. If you're in Australia, there's app for you there. Canada, there's app to use. UK, that I am now, I also buy, from here in the UK. US, so many different apps. Yeah. I hope you guys are getting value from this, because this is the crust of my stuff for you. I hope you guys are getting direct value. I also invest in other things. So I'll tell you, I invest in cryptocurrencies. These are top cryptocurrencies I've invested in. Sol, I bought Sol at $50 beginning of this year. As I speak to you today, Sol is now over $240 for one. I bought 20 of it in beginning of this year at $50. Today, it is over $240. XRP, I've had it for almost 5 years. I bought that coin for how much? I remember looking at it and almost crying now, seeing how much it has grown to. Guys, there's generational wealth if you find the profitable investment to put your money in. Ethereum, I've had it for years. I remember buying Ethereum when it dropped to below 1,000. Right now, Ethereum is almost $4,000. I bought how much? 1 or 2 of it when it was less than $1,000. It's almost skinny, and I've held it for I think 2 or so years now. Imagine your investment growing. Feth is also another one. It's into AI. I hope you guys are following. Let me tell you, the way that I invest in cryptocurrencies is only money that I can afford to lose that I put in crypto. But I tell you that one of the most profitable investment I've ever done in my life is in crypto. Do not run from it. Find a way to learn it. I have courses on it if you want. It's one of my most lengthy courses. But if you learn cryptocurrencies and you are disciplined and you're not a thief, I swear to you, you will become a millionaire from it. Okay, where do you buy? Again, I don't code. Binance, Telegram, MetaMask, Coinbase, BitGet, so many places, but they're all there. You can easily buy these things. All you need, again, is the right knowledge. Yeah. And next up, what I'm going to teach you, REITs. Real estate. Remember when I started this stuff, I said I'm going to tell you where to invest, real estate, all of those things. So this is the real estate part. There are some things on the stock market. They are called real estate investment trust, REITs, REITs. Now, these REITs, they are companies that own multiple properties, yeah, and they are required by law to pay up to 90% of their revenue to you as investors. These are some of the top ones that I know. They are low risk investments. So if you know that you want to invest in properties, but you don't have money for big house and co, REITs are an excellent way. And the good thing is REITs are low risk. They don't make a lot of money in like growth, where I'm saying Apple stock, ETF has grown by 40%, 30%. Those ones don't grow like that. But each year they will pay you a dividend. Most REITs pay actually about 7% in dividends. So meaning that you put, 1 million naira into it, you can be sure that every year you get free 70,000 naira. Imagine that was a multitude, of money. So REITs, and they are also low risk. So they're an excellent way to also diversify. If you feel like the market is doing somehow, you can buy some REITs, and be doing it. And these are my top REITs. Feel free to go and check them out. Feel free to read. These companies usually have multiple, like some of them have 10,000 houses, that they've rented out. Most of this, and in different parts of America, different parts of the world for some. Yeah. Okay, now I'll tell you another way to hack real estate in Nigeria: fractional real estate investment. You can do this on 2 apps that I know. This fractional real estate is like buying a tiny, again, just like stock, buying a tiny piece of a house. What I like with Kebble and with RiseVest is they have houses in UK, US, Nigeria, and co that you can invest in today. Yeah, and they will give you returns on it. What's even great about Kebble, they will tell you the location of the house. We bought this house in UK. This is the address. This is the this. Yeah, you can invest in it. 1 year you will take this. 10 years, 10 months you take this and co. And it's very transparent. RiseVest has the same as well, where they have houses in UK, US. I think RiseVest does more houses in the US and co. And you get up to 15%. You see this too. I don't say things I don't know. They are medium risk, because I'll say that anything, but even though they are registered with SEC and all of that, but even at that, I've put my money in this thing. Anything I've told you here, please best believe that my money is there. I will not lie to you. I will not do. That's how I invest. And that's how I believe that we should all grow our money. So guys, I think that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and give you value in my 30 minutes. As much as possible. I'll leave you with some of the resources that helped me to get started learning about money. Richest Man in Babylon, The Rich Dad Poor Dad. Please read this book. Richest Man in Babylon will take you less than 3. There's even free copies online. Please read it. Grow your wealth. Grow your savings. From your savings, invest it. Once you invest it, that is the end. You are sorted. You are solid. You would grow. Once you invest in the right thing, I promise you, you'll be wealthy. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. Sorry, that's my phone. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you guys have gotten value. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Do we have questions for her? The next speaker is in the room. Do we have any questions for her? Thank you so much, Shola, for me. Thank you for not coding. Thank you for telling us the gospel truth. And your excitement is infectious, I must say. Thank you so much. So do we have any questions for her? My Zoom is misbehaving. I hope it doesn't crash. But do we have any questions for her? Just unmute your mic.
Thank you very much. I love you too, Blessing.
Yeah, just unmute your mic and talk if you want to say anything.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. So I have a lot on my mind, because the reason why I'm here today is because of Shola. I just watched one of our YouTube video, I think with Modify. So, and then when I just watched it, and I'm like, oh, who is this person? Then I started checking, went to Instagram page, and then that was when I saw this, that, oh, it actually started yesterday. I was like, okay, I'm not going to miss today's own. So I don't know, is there a way I could just reach out to you in person? Because
Absolutely.
okay,
Just
yeah.
send it in.
Because even yesterday, just watching your video, I had a lot of things I wrote down, and then even before joining today's webinar. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you. So I
much.
will reach out. Yeah.
Thank you. Please do. Just
First,
DM.
what's your name?
Grace.
Okay, Grace. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Grace. And you're going to give us this feedback. So you need to say thank you to us for bringing her to you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
and I promise
Thank
you,
you.
she's very simple and down to earth. Drop stuff every day. Join her Telegram channel. Even before you send her a message, just join
Okay.
her Telegram channel.
Well,
That's the
I
third,
didn't see that.
it's
So
the
because
third
the only
one
thing
on
I
your
saw
screen.
on LinkedIn. I went to LinkedIn. I followed her on LinkedIn, and TikTok, Instagram.
Grace, thank you so much. God bless.
So I don't know. I'll check.
Please
I don't know. Can you
DM
share
me on
the
Instagram.
Telegram link?
It's
It's on
all,
your
I don't know
screen.
if you guys can see my screen. Yes, it's on the
Oh,
It's on
screen.
okay.
your screen, the
Yes,
third
yes.
one.
Oh, yeah. I'll just
Oh,
take a
just
screenshot of
DM
it.
me. Just send
Thank
me a
you so
DM on
much.
Instagram. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Shola.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm happy that it's been able to bless you. And like I said, you guys already started the best thing by investing in yourself, coming to a seminar like this or a webinar like this to learn. And I really, really look forward to seeing you guys in the millennial lane. And I will say, hey, that's my person. We met at this place. Okay, that's what I expect. So thank you so much, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank
Have
you
a
so
beautiful
much.
day.
All right. Thank you so much, Shola, for me. Very, very grateful. We appreciate you. The next speaker is in the room by name of Emeka Nobis. And if you want to follow Shola for me, you can see all the places where you can follow her. I also dropped in the chat window the event store where you can go buy any of her products there. She has a wonderful, so she has linked her whole store. So I think her link is the third or the fourth one. I think the first or second one from the right down. So you can follow her from there and pick it up and just go buy her products and services. Okay, so the next person is Mr. Emeka Nobis. Yes, Emeka, can you please come in, please? My Zoom is frozen on my PC. I just hope it comes back in the next 2 minutes. And my offense was trying to put on my video. Emeka, are you in the room, please?
Yes, Tosin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you. I'm going to present without slides. I just want to flow from my heart and people can ask questions. I think I'm supposed to have 30 minutes, but I think that time has been eaten into, so I can do the much I can do. All right. So
you can still take your 30 minutes. We'll take you for that. Just go ahead and talk from your heart.
Okay.
Passionate about.
All right. So thank you very much. So I'm going to be sharing. I mean, when you say knowledge money secrets, I don't really think it.
But please, so that people will not think it's.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Hello, Tosin. Well, can you guys hear me? Maybe Tosin is frozen or something. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me,
Yes,
we can hear you, Emeka.
Okay, thank you very much. I think
we lost him. He's no longer with us. It's important that he's trying to record.
Okay, I don't know. All right. So thank you everybody for coming in. He said knowledge money secrets, but I don't think there's. I don't really want to call it secrets. I want to look at it from the point of fundamentals, and to share with
Emeka.
you.
I'm sorry, my Zoom froze. I'm speaking from another device. Please, if you can put on your video, if it's convenient for you, please put it on so people can know it's not AI or it's not a recorded voice. Let's have your video and let people be able to see you. Once my Zoom comes back, I'll come back on the other device. Thank you.
Okay, because the light here is not so bright. That's the thing. That's
okay.
why.
It's okay. At least we can see that someone is talking.
Let me see what I can do. Okay, why I usually don't like to do videos, basically, I think is because the thing drags network or something. So, but you guys have seen my face. Maybe I can turn off now so that the data doesn't drag off, right? So give me permission, right? So that the thing, there's something about Zoom and okay, so if you guys can hear me, so let me go ahead. Tosin, you can hear me clearly, right? Hello?
Yes. Okay.
All right, so I just want to call it knowledge money fundamentals. So over the course of my life, or let me not use say the course of my life, let me say that over the course of a decade and 3 years, so to say, I have been on this journey of selling my knowledge. Basically, that's what it is. I studied as a mechanical engineer and worked in an oil servicing company for 10 years. And then I resigned. I resigned in 2016. And ever since then, till now, this is what I've been doing, basically sharing my knowledge and making money from it. So this is basically what I'm going to be sharing with you. And I can tell you for a fact that every one of us here, we've had experiences in our lives. We have the things that we have mastered. We have the things that we're experts on. We have our talents and our gifts. Knowledge money simply is not just about selling products. It's about the fact that these experiences, this mastery of something that you have, this story of yours, this experience, this talent that you have, somebody can pay money in exchange. That's what it is. Basically, somebody can give you money in exchange for telling your story. Somebody can give you money in exchange for your experiences. Somebody can give you money in exchange for you sharing what you know with them. That's what basically knowledge money is all about. Nothing, people will be thinking, okay, it's one fanciful word. It's not one fanciful word or anything. It's about the fact that you have an understanding that you are knowledgeable, you have expertise, you've got some level of wisdom. Somebody can pay you for that and you make money. That's what it is, basically. That's in a nutshell. So what I have been doing over these years since I resigned is basically to share my knowledge with the world, and I get paid in return. So I get to speak on platforms. I get to put my knowledge down in form of books. I get to do consultation. People pay me for consulting with me. Just before I got on this call, somebody has sent money from India. He's based in India, and he sent me money, and he just wanted to consult with me. He said, Emeka, I want to do this kind of things you do online. What are the fundamentals? What should I do? And so I told him, to have my time, you're going to pay 200,000 naira for an hour of my time. And he was willing to do that. And I just saw some money before I got on this call. You know, people have problems in their lives, and your story, your experience, your expertise can be something that they will depend upon to be able to have some levels of success in their own lives. And that is basically what it is. All right. So I'm going to share with you just basic fundamentals, and then you can ask me questions within the time that I have. You have to come to the realization that you matter to the world. And what you have, what you know, your experiences, your knowledge, your expertise, your talent, all these things that you embody, that they matter to someone else. You've got to be able to come to that understanding, that acceptance that those things are relevant, and somebody else needs those things to be able to have some form of advancement in their own lives. You've got to accept it and look at it fundamentally. Everything that we are connecting to, or the products that we use, or even how we live our lives, all right, the way we live our lives, the concept that we utilize, these things are based on knowledge. That's what it is. The world functions fundamentally based on knowledge, right? That's what it is. The product that you are, product that has been created, let's use, for example, phones that we use to make calls, is premised on the fact of the knowledge that someone needs to connect with someone else. Someone needs to speak to somebody else. All right. That is the need that they have. So how do we create a phone to be able to solve that need? Someone says, okay, we've got to put semiconductors together. We've got to bring circuits together. We have to put them, encase them in a phone, and encase them together and produce, and that's it. And in the phone. And then they created a manual of usage. That is knowledge. That's what it is. So even the businesses that we run are fundamentally founded based on knowledge. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, but I've come to be able to look at businesses and say, okay, if your business is founded on knowledge, right, you can also sell the knowledge part of it while you're selling the product part of it. A simple example could be that you are in the business of, let me give an example with the guy that I met today. This guy is making a lot of money by selling pepper in the city of Port Harcourt. Not in the Port Harcourt, River State. He sells pepper in River State, the biggest. And so today he sat with me and we were having conversations. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
So the guy is the biggest supplier of pepper. But he calls it habanero pepper. I don't know what that is all about. And maybe when I see it in real life, then I'll know exactly what he was talking about. And then he began to share with me the knowledge that he has been. So I asked him some. I asked him some questions. I asked him, okay, how do you deal with pests? And the guy said something to me that was very, very beautiful. He said to me that they have found out that that dealing with pests internally in the farm was not actually the way to go. So they were dealing with pests from outside of the farm, meaning that he said to me that they make the environment outside of the farm so uncomfortable for pests to come in. So that means instead of using pesticides in their farm, they use pesticides outside of the farm. I don't know how he does that, but outside of the farm, he says that's where they do their treatment and all that. So pests cannot just easily come in. And then he talked about how they do their regies, how they do their furrows. And as he was sharing to me, I was like, this is knowledge that this guy has that can be sold. And guess what he said to me? He said, yes. Now that people who want to have pepper farms are now consulting him to come and set up their own pepper farms, and they are paying him money. Guess what? We had an event today and the guy was present. One individual in the place asked him a question. Do you need investors? This guy said to us in the class that he doesn't need investors because money is chasing him. People are bringing money to him to help them to set up their own farms, that he charges as much as 5 million, 6 million naira just to guide them. Not physical work, just to be there and say, do this, hey, do this, hey, do this, hey, do. It doesn't involve his physical exertion or doing regies or whatever. Just that is what is called knowledge money. This guy came today because there's a platform that someone built, and that platform is strictly based on how people can sell knowledge. And we were there having conversations. It was a system that's been built, to have an ecosystem, a community of individuals who are intent on selling their knowledge to the world. That was why he attended, and he loved it. But guess what? He can spend money to set up a farm, but you see, charging 5 million for his time and for his knowledge, for the experience that he's gotten as a farmer, farming pepper. So it's the same thing with all of us. All right, we've got all that. So the first thing is you need to accept the fact that the world needs what you've got to offer. The world needs your story, needs your expertise, needs the things that are inside of you, need your story. Accept that and take yourself and be confident of the fact that you're worthy to share that with the world. The second point, I usually share things in points. The second point that first point is about, if you don't accept yourself, that you've got what the world needs, then you can't be able to sell. That's the thing. You've got to be able to be confident in yourself and feel that you are worthy enough to be able to share that with the world. If not, you can't wake up and to be able to share. If not, you can't charge. I've seen individuals who are very knowledgeable, but tell them to collect money from someone. They're no. The thing is, I had a conversation with someone. Every day we are waking up to buy things. We are waking up to buy food that we feed our bodies. But the brain that is needed to be able to make you function on this earth, and they tell you to pay money to buy the knowledge. People don't want to pay money to buy the knowledge. That's very, I don't know how to qualify that. All right. So you need to be able to accept the fact that you're worthy enough to be able to share your knowledge. If not, you can't be able to share it. You can't be able to collect that money. Confident in yourself to be able, the way the guy was saying that he collects 5 million, really? And just to share, he's not, but the knowledge and the experiences that he shares with intending farmers of pepper, they are very worthy. That kind of knowledge is very precious, because if you apply what he shares with you, that means you have less incidents of pest invasion. And that means that he was telling us in class that he experiences 400% ROI on farming pepper. But now he's making a lot more money from individuals coming to tell him to help them to set up their own farms, and he charges them. All right. So that is the thing. You have to be confident in the fact that the world needs what you have to offer. The second point that I want to share with you is basically about 3 points. The second point that I want to share with you is that you've got to be able to rise and make the world know that you know. All right. You have to be able to rise and become a star to make the world to know that you know what you know, and that what you know is important for them to buy into, to make their own lives a beauty. So nobody knows a silent expert. So you cannot languish in obscurity. You've got to be able to show up. And now there is an avalanche of tools that can help us, including tech, designed by tech, to help us to be very, very, very visible to the world. Very visible. Now, for me, this is what I'm sharing with you. I have been a writer writing on social media. But for the year 2025, I have decided to go fully on video. I'm doing 365 live streams every day, every day at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Anyway, the time may change, but I'm still battling with the time. When will it be? 6 o'clock, 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. Teaching every day back to back. What am I doing? I'm showing myself via video so that the world will know via the teachings and of my insights that I have the knowledge and that they need to come to me to help their lives to become better in their businesses, in everything, the things that they're doing that are related to my levels of expertise. 365 days. That's a lot of work. I'm not saying you should do the videos like I do, but I'm saying that you've got to be able to show up. I cannot show up for 365 videos teaching back to back. I mean, this is my strategy. So we do the videos, we edit the videos, we put them, I now put them on my on the tech platform called StreamYard. And then at 6:30 in the morning, I can be sleeping. The videos will go live and people can watch me live. I take the same video and then I prepare it and edit it again for YouTube. And then I go on YouTube and put it on at 6 p.m. in the evening. And then from that same video, I extricate the voice, the sound, or the audio notes from the same video. And then I go and put it on Spotify and on Apple, what's it called? Apple Podcasts. So you see, distributing these things on different platforms, different kinds of individuals will be hearing from a mechanobis, and they will watch my face, they will hear my voice, and then they will know that I exist. That is it. You cannot be a silent expert. You can't languish in obscurity. So you've got to be able to rise up and show forth to the world that you know what you know. You've got the story, you've got the experience, you've got all the things inside of you, and they need to know that you exist for them to flow in direction so that you can lead them on that journey to also change their own lives, change their destinies, change their marital relationships, change their health, whichever area that you are good at. That's what it is. The third point that I want to share with you is that you've got to be able to create products. So you see that people buy products, right? People buy into products. So I can't do all the things that I'm doing, keep talking and all that. People may not need me to be there constantly, physically in body, to be able to deliver these experiences to them. So I've got to be able to create products, and knowledge products that we create as quite a number, all right? We can create audio courses. Currently, right now, I'm creating 2 audio courses. You can create video courses by putting the camera in front of you, and then you can record. You can do paid webinars. You can do books. You can do ebooks. That's quite a lot. You can do online courses. Those are, I mean, today we were somewhere at the event that I told you about, and they opened the platform to show us the videos that were there that we could learn from. Guess what? Part of how they create what they create is that they bring people together, sit people together, and they have conversations with individuals who are seated there. They could be 5, they could be 3, they could be 10, and then they are recorded, and then they take these sessions, and then they go to put them on a platform that people can easily buy from. That's amazing. So imagine me now in my office. This is one of the things I'm thinking in my office. I take up a topic. I invite people for free. They could be 10 in number. They visit my office. I set up my camera, and then I do my slides I do my slides how do I put it now? Per topic or per subtopic. And I just teach from the depth of my heart. And those recordings are split, and they can be converted into knowledge product that other individuals can buy. That's what it is. So you've got to be able to create products. Then finally, on this topic, because I'm sharing with you fundamentals, you've got to be able to focus on building communities and audiences. There's a difference. People keep talking about community. For me, I'll share with you the difference between the both of them. Communities and audiences. Communities are audiences, people who are part of the audience that have paid me money. Those are the individuals that I nurture. So my audience on Facebook, you can be part of my audience, but you're not part of my community. You can be on my Telegram channel, but you're not part of my community yet. The moment that you can pay me money to be part of Knowledge Money University, that means you have moved from being an audience to becoming part of my community. The community is what I nurture. I'm there for them because they have committed money to their future. So I'm there for them. I'm in the WhatsApp group with them. you know, as we are growing bigger and bigger, then we can find other platforms that are designed by tech that can help us to constantly maintain that bond. I don't have that same bond with my audiences, but I have a deeper bond where I share with them every day what I'm doing to be able to earn income. So it's strictly for those who have passed through the Knowledge Money University. I take them there and then they become part of Knowledge Nation. And that is where the community is. There's a connection between individuals who are there. They are bonding themselves. They buy products at percentage at discounts. If we need to do certain events, we go there to pick individuals who can become public speakers for the event. If we want to launch certain products or launch certain things in our businesses, people who are part of the community can come to help us to do those launches. So you see, it's a bonding. I've created a community for them where they are relating with one another as they are building and going forward in their businesses and their lives. So commit to building audiences. But the difference between audience and community is I don't spend so much time on audiences because I want the audiences to move, people who are part of the audience to move from being part of the audience to being part of the community because they have committed themselves by paying for my products and my services to better their future. So in a wrap, number one, as I said, I want to wrap up now. Number one, I said, be proud and confident and courageous in the fact that your knowledge, your expertise, and everything that you've got, right? The world needs it. Number two, as I said, is that you've got to show up and let the world know that you know what you know and that they can depend on what you know to be able to have a beautiful future. Number three is that you've got to create products, knowledge products, webinars and books and ebooks, online courses, as many as you can create. Those are knowledge products that you can make money from because people need to have access to your wisdom, and they can have access to your wisdom not directly from you, but by buying into those knowledge products. So you've got to be able to create as many of those products so that individuals can tap into them and they can buy and make money for you. All right. And finally, as I said, commit to building audiences and communities. What we are doing on social media, showing up on social media, sharing on social media, all right, those are building audiences. But we want the audience to move from being part of the audience to being part of your community. And then that's where the constant nurturing consistently goes on. So thank you very much for listening to me. If there are a few questions that you can ask me in the few minutes that I still have left, then I can answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emeka. Don't take this for granted. We really appreciate you. The mic is open for anybody who has questions. And if you just have questions, yes, Samuel, you can go. And we are a few minutes behind schedule. So please, let's make our questions brief and let's give other people opportunities to ask questions. While Samuel is asking his question, you can drop into the chat. Okay, if you want to know how to join his community, I will send you the details. I'll drop the details as part of the freebies that you're going to get from the event. And yes, he also has a Knowledge Money University that is launching, so I'll share all those details with you. Thank you very much. Samuel, over to you.
Thank you so much,
Somebody
sir.
asking, okay, I think Rizak is asking how you can, sorry, before I ask you, Samuel, somebody's asking how to join the community is to go through the Knowledge Money University. Knowledge Money University is the university that I have founded to help individuals to be able to understand the methodology to actually become people who can be selling their knowledge, who can make money from the knowledge that they share with the world. All right. So it's 8 weeks, and we have 3 cohorts in a year. We have January, we have May, and we have September. It's only 53,000 naira, 250 naira. And when you pass through the Knowledge Money University, you now get into the Knowledge Nation, and you are going to be there for life. There's nothing else I'm charging you.
Okay, so I'll send you the details, Rizkat, and every other person. Okay, Samuel, quickly, please.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And I appreciate the organizers for this mind-blowing and changing experience. First, my question is concerning the recordings, both for yesterday and today's class, if it's possible, and at which cost is going to be for us to have access to it via our emails. Secondly, is the ones that we just explained about how to join the Money Knowledge University and his Emeka Nobe's community. Thank you so much, sir.
So Emeka is going to send me the whole list and of the links and everything. I'll pass that to you. Like I mentioned earlier on, there are a couple of freebies you get for joining, like you are getting a social media calendar for attending or for even registering. You are getting a social media calendar, you are getting a couple of things for attending. So as part of that, I will also send you a link to his community, like our family sex coach yesterday also dropped a freebie for you to take along. I will also drop that. Replay is up for 24 hours and then you have to pay for it. If you go to the first link I just sent in the shop, if you want to have access to the replay for longer than 24 hours, then you have to pay. And it's just 15K. And that also allows you to talk to me for 45 minutes for free. And also allows you to join a 3-day planning for the year. So the links are there and everything. So that's it. Any other questions for Emeka, please? I would assume that there's no other question for Emeka. All right, thank you very much, Emeka. We appreciate you. Can we all appreciate Emeka? Show some love.
Sorry, I think the thing threw me out at some point. I don't know, ask me a question, but you can have access to me if you want. I don't know if it's okay to drop my WhatsApp number. Let me type
Please
it
drop
quickly.
your WhatsApp number, drop anything you want to drop. Feel free to do that.
Let me type it quickly. I think the thing threw me out. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. So I've typed my number is I don't know, maybe some individuals are from outside of Nigeria. It's +234 8037 997 884. So you can easily send me a WhatsApp message if there are any other questions. Please feel free. Just tell me that you came in from Tosin from this class, and then I will be able to answer you. Thank you very much, Tosin, for having me. I hope that I've been able to do some justice in the time that I've got. God bless you, everyone, for listening to me. I consider it a great privilege and pleasure to be here.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Emeka. And yes, I'll connect with you to get some other details after the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So the next guest is coming up now. The next session is a chat session where I would just be having a chat. So one of the things that we are doing is that we are having a such situation whereby we bring coaches to tell us some of the things that they do. And then we also bring CEOs who have run businesses for a long while. And the next person is Mrs. Eloho FMY. She's also UK based. She runs a radio station and also runs a center in Scotland. I call her the Queen of Scotland. So yesterday was our wedding anniversary. She got married before I was born. So yesterday was our wedding anniversary. Let's wish her a happy wedding anniversary. And she's making a sacrifice to be here tonight. In fact, everybody who is here tonight has been making a sacrifice. So let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate Emeka also. So the session that I'm going to have with Mrs. Eloho is going to be a side-by-side, which is I'm just going to ask her a few questions so that she can tell us how she plans for her year. One thing about the British is that they always plan well ahead. Those people in the UK, don't joke with them. Americans are even worse. Then don't let's go to Germany, but let's talk about the UK and the US. In the US, if you get into university, they give you your calendar for 5 years and nothing is going to change it. You'll graduate that date in 5 years' time. The British, I've worked with a couple of them. They will already tell you what they are going to do in September 2025. And if they're having an event in July 2025, they started marketing the event from now. That is how organized British people are. So yes, she's Nigerian, but her mind has already adopted to that system. She's been there for many years. So welcome tonight, Matt. Do you have any first words for us? How are you today? And Merry Christmas.
I'm fine. Good evening, and thank you for this invitation. And it's a privilege to be here. And Emeka, when you were speaking, I'm like, wow, you're speaking my language, So thank you for sharing what you shared. And just delighted to be here. Yes, it was my 25th wedding anniversary. And so I'm still in the celebration mode. but I decided to honor Tosin today and looking forward to the conversation. Like Tosin said, I run a radio station. It's been ongoing for almost 8 years. In May, it will be 8 years. And it's been quite a journey, but I'm grateful for the journey so far. I always tell the clients that I work with that clarity comes from taking action. If you had told me 7 years ago or 8 years ago now that I'll be where I am today, I'll tell you, nah. But it's because I took action, and like what Emeka was sharing, I decided to show up, regardless of what was going on. So I run the radio station. I am also a radio broadcaster. That means I have my own radio show every morning, every Monday to Thursday morning. So when Emeka was talking about his 365, is it 356? I'm like, oh yeah, I've been doing that since 2017 when the radio started. I started by 6:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., but it's now 7 a.m. And we're looking to evolve that in the new year to change it completely. I also run a social enterprise that empowers women. I'm in the UK, Scotland precisely. So work with ethnic minority women to help them to thrive and excel in their personal lives and professional lives. And we do different programs. So that is me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, so when you run a radio station, you cannot leave things to chance.
Nah, not at all. Not
So
at
can you
all.
give us an idea of how you, in fact, I would really want to ask so many radio station questions, of course, but I think it's a good balance because you have to be really, really organized. You are time conscious, you are schedule conscious, you are money conscious, you are revenue conscious. Can you just tell us how you plan your year?
Okay, so first things first, I mean, as the year's coming to an end now. So what I do and also what I help my clients to do is to take stock of the year, to find out what worked well, what didn't work so well, what are you going to let go of, or what are you going to do more of, so that way we can then plan for the new year. But for me, the biggest thing is gratitude. As easy and as simple as it sounds, gratitude makes such a huge difference, and it has helped me on my journey so far. Like I always say, gratitude is a magnifier. Most times as individuals, we focus on what we are yet to achieve. We focus on the things that haven't gone well in 2024, for instance. Oh, maybe at the start of the year, I decided I was going to do this, do that. And then, oh, I was not able to do that. And then we start to beat ourselves up. But if you take stock and say, okay, this didn't happen, but this happened, it changes your perspective. So I'm a big advocate for gratitude. Gratitude changes everything. So as I'm reflecting on the year, I'm going off. So tomorrow is my last radio show for the year. And I remember my PR was trying to, because he sets up interviews, and he was saying, oh, so are you doing a show on the 20th? I was like, no, I finish on the 19th, and that's it. It's non-negotiable. There are systems in place for the radio station to carry on, but I must take time out, from everything, from social media. I'm a social media personal brand strategist, social media coach, but I have to unplug, because if I don't unplug, then I'm nearing burnt out. So what I'm doing is taking 2 whole weeks off to be grateful, express gratitude, of course, spend time with my family, which is so important, and then take stock of the year, what went well. So what helps me is, sometimes, even though I journal and I take notes, but what really helps me is thankful for our phones, for tech. I go back to January on my phone. The first picture I took, what was happening at that time? What was I up to? What did I get up to? And then it's in that process, is in that 2 weeks. I mean, even before the 2 weeks, I know exactly what is going to happen in 2025. I organize concerts as well. So I've already booked the date, and it's September 20th, 2025. So because in the UK, if you don't plan ahead, you would not find any venue. So it's not like, oh, I have an event in September, August, I start looking for venue. That's not going to work. So I've already booked a place for the concert. I have a women's event on the 4th of May. I've already booked that, right? So you have to get all of the dates in place before you start to build the content for the program itself. So I'm saying all of that to say the 2 weeks that I'm off, I take time out to be grateful. I take time out to just take stock of the year, find out what worked, what worked, what didn't work so well, and what I'm going to do less of. And I think I must have said something to you, Tosin. So one of the things that, in fact, this was in September, I made that decision that my yeses to any events in 2025 has to be strategic. It really has to be strategic. I'm not saying yes to everything anymore, because there's that temptation that you want to be everywhere. You want to, this person calls you, and God helping me, I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a yes person. Everything I'm like, yes, oh yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. But then I realized that I was double booking, and it wasn't good for my brand at all, you know. So one of the things I've decided for 2025, apart from the dates that I've set, is that my yeses are going to be strategic. But it takes that place of unplugging from everything, being grateful for what has happened, taking stock of the year, and having like a broad, you know, a wide plan of this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want to accomplish, in line with my values, in line with my overall business goal, in line with my values. So I don't know if that has helped.
It has helped. And I used to work in a nonprofit a few years ago. And what you're saying reminds me of those days where we used to have an event in December. And by the previous December, we already had set the dates. And of course, we didn't have to book a venue because we literally owned the venue. But by May, the theme of the event was already out, and we had started planning for it. And then by September, I'm already looking into the next year. So it makes a lot of sense. And I like to hear things like this. So your calendar has already started having things set up. Beautiful. Now, how do we now relate this to money making, revenue making, and how do we ensure, for example, if you're going to do a concert, your concert may not be free, but even if it's going to be free, that means you're going to get sponsors, you're going to get some things like that. So how do you translate all this to revenue generation and visibility also?
Yeah. Okay, so first things first, the concert, I've been doing the concert for 10 years plus, and it's been free. Most of it have been self-funded, but most of it have been sponsored. So I'll take you back to 2022. 2022, I interviewed somebody on my radio show, and it was around December, around this time, 2022. So I interviewed him, and immediately after the interview, I sent him an email, because usually I'll get PR agencies booking interviews for me. So I sent him a personal email, not through the agency, now, to say, I would like to have a meeting with you because of so and so and so. And so we had that meeting in December, and I shared what we had done for like almost 10 years with the concert. And I asked them to partner with us, to collaborate with us, to come on this project, showing them how it would be a win-win for both of us. And so he had said to me that, oh, in April, they were going to have their financial year budget meeting, and so I should just do up a proposal. So I'm saying that to say that it was in 2020 I first spoke to him about it, and he said, prepare a proposal so that I can present to the board when we talk about, you know, what we're going to fund for the year. So by April, we got the monies for the concert, which was in September of 2023, right? But that is, obviously, that was for a funded project. Now let's translate it to revenue generation. So if the concert wasn't free, and I knew that, okay, I had to make such let's say £20,000 to be able to stay afloat, to pay for everything, to pay for the hall, to all of the artists, to pay all the tech things, right? I have a budget, a 20K budget, right? So how do I ensure that I get that? Since in this case, most of my concerts have been free, yeah? How do I ensure now that we get that amount of money to cover it? Yeah? So what then I then do is how many so I break it down. So there are different sponsorship packages we have. So how many do I need for 20K? Do I need 50 people to give £200, right? And then based on those numbers, I then know who to reach. So even when it comes to business, for instance, I want to make 5K months, right? I want to be able to generate 5K months. How many people do I need based on my offerings, based on my services, based on my mastermind, based on my group programs? Say, for instance, I run a mastermind and it's for 6 months and it's £1,500 and I want to make 5K a month, right? How many of those do I need? So when you want to translate whatever it is you're doing, when you want to monetize it, you have to have your financial goal, right? And decide, this is how much I want to make. And how many people do I need to sell my programs? That's where it also, your programs have to, obviously you'd have costed all of your programs. You need to know how much you're charging, £1,500. That way, you then know how many people need to be on your program, how many people need to buy your courses to be able to hit your target. But one thing I learned on this journey is we all want to make money, right? And everybody says, I want to make 10 figures. I want to make 5 figures. I want to make so and so and so and so. But you ask yourself, be truthful to yourself. Have you made 1,500 before? Yes or no? Right? So if you've never made 1,500, how come? I know people have faith, manifestation, and all that, but this is the practicality of it. Why do you think you'll be able to make £5,000? Why not start? I'll tell you, when I first started my Instagram coaching, right? And I think my coach helped me at that point because I was like, oh, I want to make 5K. And my coach asked me this question: have you made 1,005? I was like, okay, go and make the 1,005 first. So I had an Instagram coaching program that it was a master class, and I charged 20 pounds. It was just really small, 20 pounds. But how many people did I need to come on to hit that 1,500? I didn't hit the 1,500, but I made £1,000 from that. So like I always say, clarity comes from taking action. So I took that action, and the next step was, okay, what's the next reasonable amount? So a lot of times we put ourselves under pressure to say, hey, I want to make £5,000. And then when you're not making it, you feel like you haven't achieved. But if you set those goals based on where you are and where you hope to be, it takes off that burden, that being under pressure, and then comparing yourself on social media. And then what happens? I hit that 1K. I celebrated the 1K. The next thing I was doing, the next time I was going to do another course, I ran a 4 weeks program and I sold it for, I think it was £199 or something. 5 people bought it. I hit that target, the next target. Do you understand? So it's having, one, your financial goal, but being realistic about where you are. About where you are and your position. Don't just go, I want to make £10,000. No, make with the £1,000. Go on to the 2,500, then go on to the 3,000 and 10,000, and then you get to your destination. Life is all about evolving. Even when you get the 10K pounds, you want to make the next, So for me, it's having a financial goal, knowing exactly how much you want to make from whatever it is. Even if it was a workshop you were going to organize, if it was a week-long event you were going to organize, if it was a concert, have at the back of your mind, write it down. This is how much I want to make. And then how many people do I need to buy this my program? Say it's a 350 program or a 1,500 program. How many people do I need? That way it takes off pressure from you. I don't know if that makes sense.
Beautiful. You make a lot of sense, and I wish to ask so many questions, but time is so short. So two things I'm going to ask. If anybody has a question, please drop it in the chat window. I'll pick it from there. And as we go into 2025, ma'am, what personal brand recommendation do you have for us to imbibe? So if you have a question, sorry, please don't unmute your mic because we are short of time. Just drop it in the chat window. Just quickly type it into the chat window, and then I'm going to take it up for you from there. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 3 things I'd love to share. Number 1, you've got to define what makes you stand out. What is your unique selling proposition or unique value proposition? What is it that you bring to the table that no other person brings? You know, so many people are doing the same thing. Let's put it that way. You may have, you know, similar coaches, but there's somehow that you coach that other people do not coach. I always, when I talk about this point of, you know, define what makes you stand out, I always refer to supermarkets and superstores. In the UK, we have Sainsbury, we have Tesco, we have Morrison, we have Aldi, we have, what's the other one? M&S. We have all of these superstores. They sell pretty much the same thing. Sometimes you will even have 2 on the same road, but there's something that makes each of them different. For some of them, it may be their pricing structure. For some of them, it may be their, you know, the way they treat their customers, right? So you need to define what makes you stand out. It could be the way you communicate to people. It could be the way you smile. It could be the way you, maybe there's just a touch of how you produce your videos on social media or how you even show up during your live broadcast. For me personally, I have clearly defined my brand. I remember when I was trying to rebrand, I thought, you know, because I wanted to stand out, I went all out and I changed my colors, right? I'm not saying everybody needs to change their color, but if you ask anybody now, what's Eloho's brand color? Everybody knows because I went as far as changing my glasses to that color because I wanted to just be different, right? Secondly, when I work with my clients, I handhold them through the process. So even if I have a group program with them, I make each of my clients feel like they are heard, they are valued, and I hold them through the process until we get to their destination. So that's the first thing first. You must define what makes you stand out. Secondly, you have to keep up with, life is all about evolving. Life is always evolving, you know. You have to keep up with the times. Things are changing. Things have changed. It's elohofmy.co.uk, I think. Things have changed from 2-3 years ago of how people show up on social media. There's AI now, there's tech now. So you've got to be willing to evolve with the times. Don't just stay in one place and say, oh, this is how they said I should do it 10 years ago. It's been working for me. You know, you've got to just find out what is happening and how you can adapt it to your personal brand without losing your value, your purpose, and your own identity. Lastly, I believe so much in mentorship. I believe so much in transferring your skills, your knowledge, because for me personally, the more I give out, the more I receive, right? So I would say focus on empowering other people, focus on educating other people with what you know. And that makes such a huge difference. People say, if you give too much free, if you give people too much, how do you expect them to pay? But I like to think that when you give so much, imagine what you will get when you come and join the paid section. So number one, define your unique selling proposition. What makes you stand out? What makes you unique? What makes you different? Secondly, evolve with the times. And thirdly, mentor other people, empower other people, give to other people. So,
beautiful, amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, ma'am. I have put how to reach her. Her name is just her name on LinkedIn. It's her name on Instagram. It's her name on her website. And if you want to reach out to her, you can reach out to her. She responds. And she's very, very helpful when you have all the questions that you have. And you can see the amazing things she does in her radio station, in her social enterprise in the UK. She just opened a new center, and where she's helping people of color and a lot of people in Scotland. And we are very fortunate to have you on board. Thank you so much, ma'am. Does anyone have any question for her before we allow her to continue enjoying her anniversary? Nobody. Okay, it's a thank you. It's an appreciation. Thank you so much, very much. Thank you so very much, man. We appreciate you. We don't take you for granted. Thank you so much. Wish you the best of the new year, and very, very much. We'll keep in touch. Thank you so much, man. Bye. Bye. Okay, okay. We're making good progress. And how do you feel? If you have any comments or questions, you can drop it in the chat. Can I see your emojis or your comments? What do you think so far? What do you feel so far about the sessions we've had? We've had 2 sessions, and the third person is coming on now. Yes, beautiful, amazing. She's being celebrated. Okay, great, amazingly amazing. Thank you, Samuel. Any other comments? How do you feel so far? What do you think you've learned? Have you learned anything? Beautiful, beautiful, great. Thank you, Toby. And yes, learned a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we will move on to the next speaker. It's also Auntie Wumi. Auntie Wumi is also UK-based, but she has spent a lot of time in Nigeria. Please, can you come online now? She is the CEO of DFL, Design for Love. Design for Love is a fashion business in Lagos, and she has run that business for almost 20 years now. We'll be waiting for her to come online now. And she's making a huge sacrifice to be here. She had a major issue yesterday morning, and she wasn't even sure she was going to be able to make it, but she's sacrificed to be here. Let's wait for her to turn on her camera. Let's wait for her to turn on her camera, and we'll be getting to see her. Okay. So she runs DFL, Design for Love, which is a fashion business in. Let me try to reach out to her.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can see your voice. Thank you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And Mr. Tosin, it's Wumi. Wumi, please. It's
What
Wumi.
did I call you?
Nothing else than Wumi.
Not Wumi. Okay, great. We've had this conversation many times. Okay.
Not even Mrs. Olufeko. I prefer to be called my name.
First name.
My first name, because of course there are many Mrs. Olufekos. So I
Yeah.
prefer to be called my name.
That's
and
okay.
Not please. Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for sacrificing. What's the temperature in your city today?
I think it's about 6 degrees. You can see I'm wearing my jacket indoors. But I'm too lazy to go downstairs to turn on the heater. So.
Oh, great. That's nice. So how are you doing? How are you preparing for the new year?
I'm good. We're wrapping up December sales first, and then of course we've started making plans for what the new year will be like. But we take a short break for 3 weeks from the 30th, and that allows us to actually, prep for the new year.
So you literally don't work in January?
We work for just a week and a half. So whatever money we need to make, we're making now, so that January we can ball.
Yeah, And one thing that attracted me to her, we used to be neighbors. One thing that attracted me to her was whenever we had conversations, she would tell you exactly how much she spends on fuel every week in those days, before when fuel was good. She would tell you exactly how much she's spending on her generator. So if you want to know a good businesswoman, go and look for a tailor or a manufacturer that is successful. And the reason is because they deal with the most tiniest of details. So you just know that you've given a tailor your dress and you get your dress. But inside that dress, you gave a material. But inside that material, there's thread, there's button, there's zip, there's, for the ladies, there's shine. There's then you say you want one big effect, maybe flared arm or ail. So tailors, and they have to buy everything. So that's one of the things that I respect her for. She's so detailed to the core. So tell us how you do your stuff and how you plan to ensure that you are on point. Just tell us about your business for starters.
Okay, so I run a female African ready-to-wear brand. We use African fabrics in contemporary designs. I recently moved to the UK and I've had to run my business from the UK in Nigeria while trying to set up my business also in the UK as well. In terms of planning, how do we plan our year? For us, planning is key. It's key to staying ahead. And a lot of people ask me how I'm able to run my business from here. And I say to people that a lot of the things that we do and the things I've done, even before I knew I was going to relocate, was based on systems and structure. So everything is done. And that's why you were saying that I know everything. Everything is done to the book. I almost can't function without details. I don't like surprises. Maybe that's also a part of me, my personal, that's something personal for me. I don't like surprises. So everything is to the detail. Oh, we want to achieve a certain amount of money. It's planned, it's deliberate. I don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, okay, today I feel like making 100,000. It's a lie. Any action that I am taking has been planned. And I like what the previous speaker said when she was saying when she wants to project, you say, okay, I want to make a certain amount of money. How many people are you going to sell to make that certain amount of money? I'm not just going to wake up and say, I want to sell 5 million naira. My goal for this year is 5 million naira. It's not going to work that way. If I decide that, okay, like I'll give an example, during Black Friday, and with my team, we meet regularly, even though I'm outside here. In fact, I think it's even a bit easier for me to live here. I'm less stressed. And now, thank God for technology. So everything is done online. Sometimes we say COVID. COVID was a curse and a blessing. So a lot of the things we couldn't do before COVID, a lot of businesses have evolved during that. I would say, for one, before COVID, I know I'm digressing, but everything comes together. Before COVID, my staff could not work from home. What's called work from home? You must be in the office. I must monitor you. And now, post-COVID, with fuel subsidy issues, we've had to adjust our working times. So yes, we have the tailors that work every day and they take their own off days during the weekend, but admin staff don't have to come every day. They are able to work from home. They have work phones and work laptops that they can take home, work with, be there and be available. And it's funny how that was something that you could never imagine. So I give an example, my logistics person that does what we call our fulfillment, because now the business is very e-commerce. People order online, people buy from the website, buy from Instagram, buy from Facebook. And that means you need someone on ground that is fulfilling orders. It's not just I'm picking the orders and then we are delivering it. The process for ensuring that those orders get out goes beyond just producing the clothes. So there's a person in charge of fulfilling the order. That's all she does, fulfill orders. She collects it. She sees the reports from the website. She collects the products, matches the reports from the website with what the production people have sent to her. Will liaise with the customer to ensure that the customer is available to receive the order. Confirm the delivery address as being the same as what the person has put down, and then dispatches, follows up with the dispatch to ensure that it is there, and confirms with the customer that they've received. Instead of that work, it seems like there's nothing, but that work is done. Now, guess what? She's able to work from home as well. You would think, oh, how would she work from home? She has a phone. On the days she's working from home, she's going to liaise with the person. The day before, she's put down all the items that are going out for the day. So all the person has to do is pick up. And then she follows up with the customer and she does the work. So yeah, a lot of the things that have allowed us to work across 2 continents is structure. We do a lot of planning. Understanding marketing dynamics is very critical. For example, in Nigeria, we'll factor in cultural trends, economic changes. Now in Nigeria, we say things are good. Things are good, So all those things have to be factored into. What's people's buying power as we speak? Is it as great as it used to be last year? What kind of designs are we going to make to ensure that people can still buy? You understand? And while we are still making profits. So that also is put into consideration. Talk about international markets as well. For international market, of course, the things that they worry about is different from what we worry about in Nigeria. For international markets, we focus on building a strong online presence. They don't want to speak to you. They want to be able to go to your website. The website is working and buy. And they want to be sure that order gets to them. So we do that. We schedule regular team checks to evaluate progress, ensure alignment with the values that or the deliverables, and then say consistency. Consistency helps market research, and also being flexible enough to know when to change or to adapt to changing conditions. So yeah.
Beautiful. So changing conditions, you mentioned something about COVID, and then in Nigeria, where your bulk of work is, a lot of changes have happened. Now, sometimes those changes happen in the middle of the year because there's a school of thought to say, all this planning you people are doing, all this planning, people just become president in June and change everything. So how does your plan stand? Or NSAS or COVID? I mean, a lot of things happen. And of course, your business was not an African prints business before. It was a ready-to-wear business, yes. But you transformed to say, okay, now it's wax print, it's batik, you understand? So how did all these situations transform into changing your business, changing the things that you do, and giving you insights? I mean, let me say this. You've run a shop in Ikoyi is it Norman Williams or Awolowo Road for how many years now?
10 years.
10 years. How are you? I mean, under normal circumstances, you should have come home and left it for the billionaires and just moved to mainland and be humble. But
and renting a shop in Ikoyi is like buying land somewhere else.
Exactly. And how are you able to do all this? COVID was hard on many people, and you are still comfortable. You've moved from a small factory to a bigger factory. You are paying rent, you are paying for fuel, you are doing all that. I remember we had an electricity problem. You had to buy your own full stack and all that, all unforeseen. So how do you do all this?
So, there'll definitely be unpredictable events like COVID, subsidy changes, and that would disrupt plans. But to be honest and to be real, there's nothing new under the heaven. Maybe apart from COVID that we never knew that would happen. Yeah?
Even COVID was not new. It's only
But
that our
COVID was not new. Things will happen. And that's where it's good to how would I say it? Build data. Is it build data or fish out data? Because historical data helps you to plan. If the thing happens in the middle of the year, you know what to switch to. So I'll give you an example for COVID, because COVID was so real to me. Because for me, at the beginning of that year, I used to have a small group of fashion entrepreneurs that we used to meet regularly, and I was trying to, just for us to be able to share ideas and all that. So at the beginning of COVID was 2020. At January 2020, we had a meeting where, of course, a planning meeting, so everybody can talk about what they want to do, their goals. It was a goal setting meeting. And I said to them, guys, do you know that Asoebi is going to die? And everybody was looking at me. At that time, we're doing more of made to measure. Made to measure is when the people bring their clothes, bring their Asoebi, then you make it. When they finish making it, you give it to them, they pay you your money. And I said, do you know Asoebi is going to buy? Everybody was like, oh, they didn't make sense. COVID hadn't happened in January. Remember, COVID it hadn't happened. And I didn't even know COVID was going to happen. But what I knew, and from data that I got, interacting with customers, seeing how, when I first started business 20 years ago, I knew the way people would say, no, I cannot wear what everybody is wearing. I come from that era where people, if you made them a cloth that you've made for another person, nobody's going to buy it. They want to be the only one that is wearing it. Nobody's buying what somebody else in Nigeria is going to have. So, from now interacting with them and seeing how people were slowly accepting ready to wear. And by this time, 2020, I'd spent 6 years or 5 years in the Ikoyi shop, and I'd seen where people were not buying as much, to where people would walk in and say, I have a meeting later on today. I don't want to wear the same outfit, and I want to buy something that will. I have an event. I don't want to go back home. And I'd seen where people were readily, when I say readily, people were readily buying ready to wear. Where people would say, I have a wedding tomorrow. I don't want to wear Asoebi. I want to buy something from your store and wear it for my events. So that already told me that people were getting tired of Asoebi. People wanted to be able to not to have to worry with tailors and just walk in, buy. Now, buying what everybody already has or buying what is on the rack, people did not mind anymore because they could make those designs their own in terms of accessorizing and all that. So I knew that a change was coming. I said, soon Asoebi will be for only Ebi. It will be for only Ebi. And if we take a random check now, how many people buy Asoebi today like the way they used to buy it pre-COVID? If someone comes to you now and says there's a party, the Asoebi, and maybe just your friend, not like your Ebi, there's a party, and this person, your friend, said, the danshiki or the lace is blue and green, 50,000. The gele is 20,000. Tell me, I want to see in comments, because I want to. I'm also this sampling. How many people? I want to say also in comments.
How many of us will buy Asoebi?
How many people are buying that Asoebi today? Because the sampling is just for us to know. We might have other fashion entrepreneurs here, just for us to know how many people are buying Asoebi. Yeah, people are no longer interested in buying Asoebi. So was I right? Yes. Did I know COVID would happen? No. Guess what? I said to them that, look, I was transitioning my business in January. I was moving from 90%. I was moving to 90% ready to wear and 10% ready to made to measure. And I was giving it a year. After a year, I was moving fully to 100% ready to wear. Now, by the time COVID happened, I was already doing 90% ready to wear. Guess who was selling in COVID? I was selling. I made my most money during COVID. Like I surprised myself. Because guess what? People were bored. People that were not working were bored and were shopping. Some people, and funny enough, I launched a new collection. I launched a very special collection around that. Of course, I didn't know COVID was going to happen. Just before COVID happened, and I used some, in quotes, celebrities for that collection. So people would ask me, and guess what the tagline I was now using when COVID came? I said, see, you look at this collection and use it as a point of like hope that things will get back to normal. Buy it with hope. And people were buying the collection. They're not going to go out, but they were buying the collection because they felt like, if I buy this, it's a hope for tomorrow. One day I'm going to be able to wear it. And people were buying it. Of course, we did working from home. I did a lot of easy clothes. I was selling. So yes, historical data is important. And as I said, there's nothing new under the heaven. Things will come that you won't plan for, but you must also be ready to quickly change.
Nimble.
Yes. At that time, before COVID, I didn't have anybody working on my Instagram. Everything, I'll be the one answering my Instagram. Now I have a full team. I have 3 people that work on Instagram. Someone working in the front end, 2 people working at the back end. On just one channel. I have 3 people that work there that will take orders. So it's a very active, and those people, guess what? They're not working in my, in fact, one of them, I've never met her, and she's been working with me for 3 years. We've not seen like this before.
Amazing.
I've never met her. We've never seen. I've only seen her picture.
And she's delivering.
She's on maternity leave now. She's delivering. So you must be ready to quickly fix things. Yeah. But those things, understand that those things, whatever is happening now, has happened before. So go search for information. In the time when this thing happened, what did people do? And then do that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have 500 million questions to ask you, but I'm going to let you go. I know you are coping with a lot right now. Does anybody in the house have questions for her? I'm out of questions. If you have a question for her, unmute your mic, and please just fire your questions very quickly. This is the make money part. And like we were told yesterday, even if your job is paying your salary, you should also, we are not talking of side hustle per se, but you should also have something that is paying your salary, that is paying you apart from jobs. So business is not a bad thing to get involved in. Okay, I see Samuel. Samuel, do you want to ask a question?
Yes, exactly, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Well, I again want to appreciate you for this opportunity. Quickly, I wanted to find out if she can throw more light. Okay, if she can throw more light concerning those of us in Nigeria and how we can cope with these uncertainties. The last two, the speaker that spoke before her also made mention of the same type of terrain, the same type of scenarios, meaning that those two locations are constant as in the developed world. But back to this place where we have uncertainties, policies, and the rest, how do we manage ourselves to still fit in and still be very productive and still have our outcomes as desired? Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Did you get his question, ma'am?
Yeah, I did. So, well, Nigeria is very peculiar, but even in the peculiarity, there are still some constants. For me, I would say I stay positive, even when it's so bad. Like, of course, I'm human. That's when I say, oh God, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But then I stay positive. Remember that, see, as bad as it can be, there are still people that are making money. There are still people making money. So why should I focus on the general? So I stay positive. And I say, you know what? I will continue to be out there so that the people that are still making money can find me and buy from me. It's as simple as that. I just stay positive. And consistency. You can, if you Google my name, if you check me on Instagram, I am consistent. I'm consistently showing up. Consistently showing up. Even, in fact, someone last year I had a health challenge, and nobody knew that I had a health challenge. The health challenge was so bad that at some point I couldn't walk. But guess what? I was showing up. People say, "Ow." I said there are days that if I felt well enough, I take enough painkillers, I batch create my content, send it to my team, I go back and cry in the pain. But nobody knew. Nobody knew I was going through hell, like I was going through hell. Did my business suffer? No. Were my team able to hold forth? Yes, my team were able to hold forth. So yes, there will be uncertainties. Yes, Nigeria is so, things are so it's not just bad. The fact that we do not even know what tomorrow is painful. But in all that, we have to choose to stay positive and find ways, and it's not only Nigeria that is your market. Nigeria is not the only market. You have to position yourself for global domination now. And why are we only thinking Nigeria? Is Nigeria the only place? So what's stopping you from looking outside? Who is looking for my service? And stop thinking small. A lot of times people think small. I cannot do it. Well, who said you cannot do it? I'll tell you, when you hear my marketing budget, you will be wondering, are you sure? Are you for real? You say, I told someone that in the last 2 weeks, I spent 2.5 million on influencer marketing. 2.5 million. If I tell you come and spend 2.5 million on influencer marketing, so how much would your returns be? No. I know what my returns are. I'm targeting. So I think the major advice would probably be, don't think small. Look beyond even Nigerian markets. Start to think global, so that your business can move forward.
Show up and stay positive.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a critical question. Okay, I'm the next presenter, so I'll take permission from myself to take time from myself. And Judah, please bear with us. Quick one, please. I would request that the next 2 sessions, they are the cap shift of today's events. Judah's session is, if you are in business, something like what Umi is talking about here, where she's spending a particular amount on her business. Judah's session is going to talk about how you can design your flow. At what point, like Ms. Eloho said, she did a $20 product. She wanted to make £5,000, but she started selling from £20. Why? Because nobody knew her and nobody was going to pay her big money. So how do you graduate your products from the small one to the big one? That's what Judah is going to talk about. So please don't go anywhere. And I'm going to take everything you've heard, financial plan, all those things together. And please just bear with us. I will be done in the next 5 minutes. Now, this question is asking that you are a tailor. I know you're a fashion designer, but you use tailors, and they are Nigerians, and that is the heart of your business.
Yeah.
Tailors that are staff do a lot of things. There was one I was watching on Instagram. The person stole about 200 yards of pieces, 200 yards of pieces, and she did not steal it and throw it out. She kept it in the staff quarters. So how do you manage your business operations? People steal, people lie. Sometimes your staff may even be getting deals using your brand and not remitting and all that. Somebody is asking, I know this person has a family member that is into fabrics and tailoring and stuff. So please, can you, and many business owners, those who own cars, they have this Nigerian factor. How do you deal with it?
Okay, so I think first of all, from get-go, I've always been a hands-on would I say leader? Yes. So I'm there. Now, and while I'm there, it's not just because I want to be there, but it helps me to study my team. I know who, I can tell you, I know who is going to steal from me. I know who will lie. I'm just giving examples. So I'm there. Now, I'm also very familiar with them. So you can see me, I can sit down in the factory and we are gisting. In gisting, they do not realize that they are giving me information that I can use to study them. I'm studying them as well. We are gisting, I enjoy gisting with them, but I'm studying them. Personality, studying personality, studying, oh, what does this person really like? What can cause this person to act in a certain way? And those are the things you need to build a rapport that allows you to get in depth with them. I'm not saying that I'm playful with them. No, they understand when it's time to gist and when it's time to be serious. And then you can now build systems and structures around their personalities. So you understand what I'm saying? I'm building systems and structures around their personalities. Key things, I would say, when I started business, tailors, if anybody's in fashion or knows how tailors behave, even if you don't own fashion business, I think tailors are one of the greatest liars, Abby. People say that now. You give tailor clothes. You tell the tailor that your party is on Saturday. You will call the tailor on Saturday morning. You say, my boy. When you get there, he or she is just looking for the cloth to cut it. Am I right?
Correct.
So yes. So that mindset is already there. When I started the business, I said, no, I will not be seen as the regular tailor or fashion designer. And so I built the psyche of my staff or anybody that's going to work with me. There's nothing like lateness. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. So they understand timing. Now, because you also know personality, they're artisans. Not all of them have gone to school like the way, uni or anything like that. Some of them are primary school, maybe secondary school, not as exposed. Not as exposed. So you need to give them that space. And that's why I said build systems and structures around their personalities. Because if you don't, you are setting them up for failure as well. So now my team, we were supposed to say, okay, we resume at 9 o'clock. Guess what? I know I want them to be at work by 9. Guess what I tell them? On their handbook, we say resume at 8:30. You have 30 minutes grace. 30 minutes grace. So everybody is rushing to come at 8:30. But if they are even late, they know they have 30 minutes grace. But guess who needs them to be at work at 9? I need them to be at work at 9. I don't need them to be at work at 8:30. I need them to be at work at 9. I will even tell them, when you come at 8:30, feel free to have breakfast. Because you know that's what in those days, you tell the Lord, I want to come to work at 9. When he comes to work at 9, tell her that you know that you're going to eat breakfast. You won't eat the breakfast on your way. It's when you come at 9 o'clock that you're supposed to start cutting your cloth. Then you will not say, where did you go? Say, Mosari Lord Jamuni at 9 o'clock. No. So I tell them, oh, you resume at 8:30. Between 8:30 and 9, you can have your breakfast. So guess what? They come to work and they go and have breakfast. By 9, they are ready to work. I just gave a classic example, of how you will build those systems. There will be people that will steal. You will leave space for it too. You will leave space for it in your business. When I say leave space for it, not enough for it to kill your business, but you know that it will happen. Now, so I will calculate, even the materials I use, I calculate it with this. Okay, half yard might be, I calculate it. If I get it back, good. If I don't get it back, I'm not crying for it. Then treat them well. If you're working with people, treat them well. Treat them like people. Let them feel like they're important to your business. Don't be a boss that does not, let them see your goals. Let them understand your goals for your business. And let them feel as if they are important for that. If you are successful, they are also successful. It's very important. I do that with my team. Very important. I would say again, go to my Instagram page. Go back to when we did our Black Friday sales. You see a lot of my teammates, my staff there. They do content with me. They will rush. It's not because they know it is our own. Our own. If I do well, they do well. So they carry it on their head as if it's their own. And I tell them, if we waste the money, if you steal from me, you waste the money, waste this thing, we all suffer. Now, if you say, when you suffer, fine, you will lose. If the business packs up, it's not the same day you're going to find another job. So you will still lose income for a few days, for a few weeks, for a few months, and all that. So we might as well let it work. And that's really what I've done with them.
Okay, I like that. I think it's comprehensive enough. And are we allowed to connect with you on Instagram or no, unless we want to buy clothes?
No, you can. You can. I can. My personal handle is easier because if you come and you're chatting with me outside my personal handle, my staff might not know, or they might not know what to say to you. And I'm not. I'm there, but I may not be. I'm not always there. So I'm putting my personal handle.
All right.
And then I'm going to also put my business handle for reference, because I know that it will also inspire someone out there. So you can put on Instagram.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have been so good. And do we have any comments for her? Let's drop some thoughts for her on the chat window. Let's say thank you. Let's appreciate her. Let's tell her what we appreciate about her. And yes, I'm so happy that you've been able to make it despite the challenge you had yesterday. And we'll keep talking on WhatsApp, and then we'll connect. Thank you so much, and enjoy the UK.
Thank you.
And yes, enjoy Christmas and the New Year. Regards to the family.
Thank you so much for having me. Okay. Good night.
Bye for now. Good night, ma'am.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. So again, thank you, everyone. I'm going to make my presentation as short as possible. I have a lot of slides, but never mind. I'm going to make sure my slides are not. I will skip. I won't skip, but I would not spend too much time talking. Okay, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Just give me 1 second so I can share the right screen, and then we will get started. Okay, so invariably, what I want to do right now is to help. What I want to do right now is to just quickly find a way of bringing everything that we've spoken about or we've heard over the past 6 hours or 5 hours together. You've heard a lot about finances. You've heard a lot about about marketing. You've heard a lot about sales. You've heard so many things, and someone somewhere might just be lost and confused and not sure how to proceed. You are not alone. It happens to me also. I'm a very vivid learner, and I learn on my feet. They say some people should think on their feet. Me, I don't just think on my feet, I learn on my feet. But one challenge I usually have after learning is to say, this thing that I've learned now, so is it complete information or is partial information? So how do I integrate it with all that I know? Everybody knows typically that you should plan your year, isn't it? And this might be a little bit interactive. I try to rush so that we can go to bed before 9. But this is a good time, before 10 rather. But this is a good sacrifice to make, if it's only for tonight, please, to help you a lot. So we all plan, but like Wumi said a few minutes ago, planning fails. But one thing I've learned is that if you are consistently planning, I promise you this event that I'm holding right now, I plan to hold 6 events this year. Guess how many I've held? 2. But at the time I'm looking back at my 2024, if I did not plan to hold any event and I held one, maybe by a fluke, but I didn't score 90%. But at least I've held events, and the events that I've held have even surpassed my imagination. Today we have about 200 people registered. I've done 2 events in 2 weeks. I did an AI event last week, and I'm doing another business event this week. And that AI event was not Monday, it was Friday, Saturday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm doing another event. It's crazy. And don't ask me how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. But it's all because I had a plan. Did 2024 go exactly the way I planned? Hell no. In fact, I was telling someone 2 days ago that 2024, I went to school without getting admission. And that's just a nice way of putting it. That's just a nice way of putting it. It was the school that I did not sign up for that I went to in 2024. But again, it's me being positive and showing up, as Wumi said. So I'm just going to run you through a couple of things. So how do you plan your year and win your year? I have a lot of senior colleagues in the room. with all due respect to them. So my intelligence may not be as great as yours. My exposure may not be as elaborate as yours. But this is just to put a lot of things into context, to guide you and give you context on how to go into the year. It's not perfect, but it just gives you some things to think about and how you should go about it. So, like I said, why do we need to plan? And why do we need to plan? Planning is the critical bane of everything. You always hear presidents in Nigeria talk about a budget. Now, whether they are spending the money the right way or they are doing otherwise, budgeting is planning. There's no bank in Nigeria that doesn't plan. In fact, my event of last week was, I was meant to have a CIO of a big bank of Nigeria to come and speak at the event. And he said it's going to be at a management retreat, middle of December. That means they are not trying to ensure that we are making the money, let the money be complete for the year. This is one of the biggest banks in Nigeria. They are not trying to ensure that the money is complete. They've left that one. They are already looking at next year. Are you with me? In some organizations, the budget for 2025 was sealed by September ending. The budget was sealed by September ending. So what we are doing today is already late, but it's not too late because you still have, today is the 18th, right? So you still have 12 days to do a lot of stuff. Like you heard Madam Wumi say that they shut down for three weeks in January. Who does that? Are you not meant to resume the year running? But they already have a strategy. So planning helps you get your year mapped out. Madam Eloho said she has an event in September. That one is done. Venue is booked. She has an event in May. That one is done. Venue is booked. I've planned events in the UK also, so I have an idea of how that works. If you don't plan it on time, you'll just be getting the very expensive one. So the one that you should pay £12,000 for, you eventually start paying £25,000, double. And that's like 6 months of rent. So planning helps you. Even when things happen that you are not aware of, it still gives you a way to stabilize and to catch yourself when you stumble. And how do successful people plan? You'll see that some of the things I've written out here, it might be a bit small, but some of the things I've written out here, you will see that they are reflected in some of the things people who have come on the call have said. A very, very good way to build your year, the very first point and the last point are related. You don't break your year into 12 months because what is going to happen is that they're going to push your year, some targets and achievements, you're going to push them into October. There's the spirit of procrastination that everybody deals with one way or the other. It's not like an evil spirit, it's just how we are wired, especially as Africans. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next year. I'll do it. So you don't plan your year. Even banks, big organizations in the world, no big organization, and I say no big organization in the world plans their year by one whole year. Never, never. It is always in 3 months. It is always in 3 months. And then when they plan their years in quarters, they always have quarterly reviews. But guess what? They don't even review their quarter at the end of the quarter. There are two terms. They call it MPR and QPR. If you are planning an event and you want people to come on the last week of the month, or you want people to come on the last week of the quarter, and the people you are looking for to attend are professionals, bankers, engineers, people who work in corporates, that event may flop. Because the last week of the month, last week of the quarter, they are doing reviews. In corporate world, for the mere mortals, that's last week of the quarter, that's when we are doing our appraisal. Or that period of the quarter, last 2-3 weeks of the quarter, that's when we are doing our appraisal. If I'm saying the wrong thing, professionals in the room, experts who are bigger than me, you can say no. Please just put your big no. You can even underline it. You can put it in red and just say no. But if I'm also saying the right thing, oblige me and say yes, I agree, I concur, you're saying the right thing. So please help me. Now, successful people also, the challenge is that we do all these things for our organizations. We do it for our guys. We do it for everybody. We will do MPR sometimes, or QPR. You are taken out of your house to go and stay in a hotel for 3 weeks or for 3 days to plan for this company. But we don't do this for ourselves. What we do at best is New Year resolutions. What we do at best is okay, this year I'm going to lose weight. How much weight Why are you losing weight? How are you losing the weight? This year, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to focus on my business. How are you focusing on your business? What are you selling? How much are you making? Who are you selling to? All those kind of things. So those are things that they do. And then what they do is that they don't say, I'm going to make money. They are going to break it down into small projects. They are going to break it down into small activities. Like she said, I'm going to stop sewing clothes for people. I'm going to do ready to wear. So which means I'm going to stop collecting clothes and waiting for people to come. I'm going to take charge of my future. So she started selling ready to wear, then she's moved into Adire, and then which meant she had to start shipping in clothes from Osun State, from Abeokuta, wherever. Now, that was planning. That was a lot of planning. So they break down their years into projects, into activities, into a lot of things that they do. And that allows you to progress. Like Mr. Loho said, I wanted to make 5K, but me that I wanted to make 5K, I had never made 1K. So let's break it down to 1K. And what do I need to do 1K? I need 50 people to pay me 20 pounds. That's 1K. And then the good thing about doing it small first is allowing you to understand a lot of things. From 20, she jumps to 199 to 2, that's really to 200. So from 20 pounds, she 10x'd her price. So which means she did 1K 2 times. But she did not need 50 people again to do the 1K. This time she needed only 5 people. So break it down. And when you are doing these things, you don't plan on one silo. I'm a married man. I can have my plan for the year, solid. And then my wife will come and say, bro, we need to do this one. So you don't plan your life or anything in isolation. Or I plan. One of my digital marketers, I've been trying to reach him now, and I'm not making fun of him. And I couldn't reach him for 2 weeks. Even for this event, I wasn't able to run ads because the guy was down. And we already had a strategy for that before. And there was some money I had paid him. Why? He's down and on medication. So which means he's going to end the year not sick, but weak. So if he had planned to make money in December, that is probably having a challenge. So you don't plan in isolation. I'm going to make 50 million. I'm going to become a senior manager. You plan for your family, you plan for your finances, you plan for your health. You can't be planning for money and everything, and then you're not planning for your family. All those things. Or your child will just say, Daddy, you don't have time for us. You know, that's an indictment, even though you're working for them. So I'm going to move on very fast now. So before we continue, how did you do 2024? How did it go? Did you have a plan at all? I'm taking a cue from yesterday, what Tobore did. Did you have a plan for your 2024 at all? And did you have resolutions? Did the economy affect you? The economy affected everybody if you're in Nigeria. Did you derail due to challenges? I had personal challenges. I couldn't show up online for a few weeks or a few months. Did I fail or learn? I failed, but I'm not going to say I failed and I fell flat. No, I fell 7, I stood up 8. Did I learn? Billions. I learned without paying school fees. I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot. So what are you going to, so that's the reflection part. And we're not going to spend too much time reflecting and crying. No, we are picking ourselves up and saying, what is going to change now? Why did I fail? Now you know that the economy can fall. Like Umi said, whatever is happening, there's nothing new under the heavens. In Yoruba, they say, we have never seen this before. We say that when we want to scare somebody. This is so strange, you have never seen it before, but it's a lie. We have seen everything before. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite virtual coaches, says, when you ask him, how is the new year going to be? He said, I know how it's going to be. And guess what his answer is? It's going to be exactly the way it was last year. There's going to be elections. There's going to be a new president somewhere in the world. There's going to be another country fighting another country. There's going to be an economic downturn. There's going to be a whole lot. It might not be as accelerated as it has been in Nigeria. I agree. In America, they're also having a lot of financial problems. Price of egg is double. In the UK, I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's really horrible in America. Not horrible, but it's quite bad in America. So now that we have seen an extreme scenario in Nigeria, we've seen an extreme scenario that bread can go from 400 naira to 1,800 naira in 6 months. Great, great, great. So how well should I plan for my finances? How bad can the economy get? I have a friend, a distant friend, who does online courses. Since 2022, her online courses have been increasing in count. I mean, her patronage. In 2023, she had 4,000 students attending her classes. 4 times in a year, 4,000 students. In 2024, she had 7,500 attending her classes. So which means in 2022, 23, 4,000 people paid her 37,500. In 2024, 7,500 people paid her 37,500. That is just one of her businesses. And it's still the same Nigeria. She's not a politician. She's not any of those big people. She's a middle-class person like us. And in 2025, with all the bad things that Shege that 2024 has shown Nigerians and everything, she's targeting 10K participants, which means in 2 years, she's tripling her income. I'm just going to stop there. So what is she? So this person is already setting milestones for herself. She's already planning and everything. So you too can do that. It's not too hard. It's not too complicated. You just need to spend time, sit down and plan. We don't have that time and we don't do that planning. But my request to you, my plea to you is make time. And the time you need to make from experience is not 1 day. It's not 2 days. It's a minimum of 3 days, but optimally 1 week. It's a minimum of 3 days, but optimally 1 week. And please don't do it after December 31st. Do it well before December 31st. I'll keep moving. So let's talk about, for those of us who are employees, what are the top 3 goals on your job for next year? What are the goals that you're setting for yourself on your job? Related to your job, what are the top 3 goals for your career? I'm not going to answer you. You can take a screenshot. You can write this down somewhere. You can, but these are things you need to start thinking about. And as the things are going now in Nigeria, I have worked for about 17 years. And what is happening is that because Japa has happened a lot of my colleagues or my sets are becoming very, very senior in the industry. Because the more senior guys are either taking their family out, they've made a lot of money, they've seen what is happening, they're taking their family out. So there's a lot of space at the top, and they're happy to go and start a new life in another country. So many of my peers who are back home in Nigeria are suddenly becoming chief technology officer, chief this officer, chief that officer. If they're not in the top 15, top 20%, top 10%, they will go and bring somebody from the abroad. Nobody's going to call you. So how are you trying to be in the top 10% of your career? Now, what's your target salary or target income? Tobore told us a lot of things yesterday. She made a mind-blowing declaration, which I agree with. If you want to live life and you don't want to be doing what we call extreme sports with life, if you want to live comfortably, she told us an amount. So, and then what are the target skills that you must learn? Are you writing exams? Are you taking a course? Are you doing this? If you are taking a course and that course is $1,500, which is 2 million naira, where are you going to find that 2 million naira from? It's not a match that you are deciding whether you are taking that course or not. Plan it now. If you need to take 3 courses and it's 2 million naira, what are we going to look for 2 million naira, or we are going to share with the money with somebody, or how are we going to do it? All those things are things that you need to do. And sometimes it's not a course, it is a skill. Maybe you need to come for mentorship and learn how to do some things, or learn how things are done. But that's for the career guys. And I missed something out, which is, what is your December 2025 testimony for your job? What's your December 2025 testimony for your job? By this time, 2025, write a letter to yourself and say, I achieved all this. Just fast forward the date in your head and date it December 24th, 2025, and write a note back to yourself. Let's talk about business. Let's start from the top. How much are you planning to make in 2025? Maybe you are not able to say how much you are planning to make. Go and so break it, take it back. How many products do you have, and how are you planning to sell those products? Give yourself a target on each of those products. Aggregate everything and get a big number. But you need to know a number that you are chasing in 2025. You cannot do business like you are doing business. This is aggressive execution. Aggressive execution. Don't kill anybody, don't fight anybody, but this is aggressive execution. How much are we making? I'm into fishery, I'm into digital sales, I'm into online marketing, I'm into property sales. What is that target? And your dream is towards that target. So anything that is coming, we are looking at 1 million naira, we are looking at 15 million naira. That is what you're chasing. How many products are you focusing on? They tell us that multiple streams of income is for people who have achieved and balanced at the top. That's okay. But at least you should have one or two things you're selling. Don't depend on one thing. Have some insurance or some balance, so that when one fails, you can fall into the other. Don't have 5 or 10 or 20. No, just do few ones that are solid. And don't let, this is not a sentimental thing. I just love, it's not about what you love. Dangote that everybody is fighting for today of petroleum. Dangote doesn't love petroleum. He does not drink petroleum. Tony Elumelu holds a power plant. He holds a bank. He holds a lot of things. He does not like electricity, because if he touches electricity even in the wrong way, it's going to be another story. So it's not about, I just love, what you love is good though, but make sure that what you love can make you money. I'm coaching, I'm teaching, I'm training, second nature to me. But can it make me money? Yes. So I love it and I can do it. That's a good one. But if it's what you love and it's not making money, please go and rethink about it. And don't discover this in April 2025. Discover it now. The data is there. Go and check online. How many people are searching for it? Go and check online. The people that are doing it today, are they making money, or they are using other things to substitute? They are claiming to do that thing, but they are not making the money of that thing. Go and check. Now, one critical thing, what's your plan for visibility? You cannot be a silent expert. You cannot be a silent expert. And I tell people that when we talk about social media in 2025, it's not about social media because you want to be an influencer like or a musician or anything. Social media, and one of my good friends always says, stop harassing your church members to buy your products. Stop harassing the people you know. Anytime they see you, they just pass the other side because they know you are going to come and say, when are you buying my thing? Stop harassing. Have a plan to sell to people that you don't know. That's the advantage of social media. If you are buying a phone, if you are buying a tool, if you are buying a gadget, leverage it. Social, and like who was talking yesterday, 2024 is the period where it's so easy to make money. Emeka Nobis is posting on his WhatsApp status, he's posting on Facebook, he posts like 6 times a day. Wumi has like 5 posts on Instagram every day. It's not because they want to be posting and they don't have work, but that is the only, these social media platforms are search engines. We know Google is a search engine, but guess what? When people want to buy, people don't like to go out again, and sometimes they just go on Instagram. People plan their wedding on Instagram. They will not use the vendors they know. They will just go, best fried rice in Lagos. Instagram will give them all the people. If you have put yourself out there, your products are good, your services are good, your name too will show. They will check you out. If you are using the right hashtags, if you are using the right things. How much she said she spent 2.5 million on influencers. How come an influencer is collecting, at least let's say that's 2 influencers or 3? How can they be collecting 800K? What they are doing is that they have 100,000 followers. So anything they say is good. People will buy. So if followers are not followers because of pride or like land, followers are money spenders. I have a friend whereby any course she says that she's doing, people are always in that class. We know ourselves. Any event that she's doing, we see ourselves in that class. If she says she's doing an event, 3K, she will gross up to 1,000 people in a 3K class. Guess what she's doing? She has over 300,000 followers. So with that 1,000 people or 2,000 people is just 1% of her 300,000. Everybody talks about Hilda Baci, Hilda this Guinness World Record holder. Do you know that that Guinness World Record, whatever that Hilda Baci did, was a publicity stunt that worked? Shortly after her Guinness record, world record, everything, she launched her online course for catering and cooking. Why would people pay you to cook or to learn how to cook? What is she teaching them that my grandmother or my cousin's grandmother or my Akwa Ibom sister cannot teach me? She's an Akwa Ibom girl. What is she teaching them? But over 1,000 people paid her 50K, either for the fun of it or for the visibility or for whatever. So if you are in business and you are not visible, it doesn't have to be social media. If your business is visible without social media, congratulations. But for every other person that your business is not so visible, think about social media. You will pay Mark some money and Mark will bring people to you. Think about that. Now, back to money. What monthly target are you making? We have put our revenue for the year. How much are you breaking down into quarters and months? Who are you collaborating with? Who are you collaborating with? Now, a couple of the sessions in this event since yesterday, I can take them myself. For those who know me very well, I can take a lot of them. I have my own digital academy. So what Emeka did, I can do. But Emeka is ahead of me in the journey. So why should I now be doing it myself? Why don't I bring an expert to talk about it? I have a very good idea about ETFs and stuff, but I'm not a finance expert, but I'll coach you, I'll tell you on what to do. But Shola Fumi came and she guided us. I brought in some other people yesterday. I am a health enthusiast. For those who know me very well, I've lost weight. I can tell you my story and I can coach you on how to lose weight. The health coach broke down coincidentally yesterday, so we didn't bring her in. But I could have done it myself. Dr. Blessing is here. She can tell you about health. She told us some things yesterday. So a lot of stuff, but I'm collaborating. And there are some secrets to it, which I will not tell you here, but there are some secrets to it. Now, when you're done, what is your testimony for your business in 2025? Write another letter. Health and wellness. Remember, I told you here that you should have a wholesome plan. Have a wholesome plan. Don't plan in isolation. Don't plan in isolation. Don't plan for the money and don't plan for health. No. So I will talk briefly about health. Did you break down this year? What caused it? Maybe you were losing sleep. What's your diet going to look like? For we men, it was in the past, the days of our fathers, that it was great and fun to have a big stomach. And we now know that big stomach is nothing. There's nothing inside. It's the fast track to high blood pressure and diabetes. So how are you changing that? How are you exercising? You don't need to be in the gym to exercise. Have I been to the gym this year? I can't remember. But I've done a lot of exercise. I've lost a good amount of weight. Are you planning to lose weight or are you planning to gain weight? Whatever are you doing? What are you, not how will you avoid? How will you avoid breaking down in 2025? What kind of foods, what are you doing to change your diet? If you're not in dire financial consequences and circumstances, you can have a very good diet. And I'll tell you for free, the biggest enemy is sugar. Whatever that means to you, the biggest enemy is sugar and carbohydrates. So avoid sugar. You can do without sugar. Avoid sugar. We can talk about this in subsequent sessions, but that's it for you. Now, lastly, about your finances. How much did you make last year? How much did you lose last year? Last year is 2024, not 2023, 2024. Okay, so you made money, you lost money. So what's the plan now? Let's have a plan. Tobore told us a lot of things yesterday. Let's build into that. Shola Fumi spoke about investments today, and she said you can invest. I promise you, what if you've never had any investment advice as a Nigerian? One of the best investments you can do is to invest in dollars, because our economy is going to keep having issues. The naira is going to keep crashing, maybe not as fast, but the naira is going to keep crashing for the foreseeable future. I'm not swearing, I'm not cursing, but the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people have not done some things that they should do. And because they've not done those things, it's going to have an effect on the economy. And for the past 20, 30 years, a lot of people who have made a lot of money, you wonder how they are doing it. They are working in Nigeria. They have 3 children in the university in the UK, US. if they tell you most of them are saving their money in dollars. So something that I was saving 10,000 last year was 11 million. All of a sudden, by just still keeping it in dollars, is already 18 million. So whatever project I have, I'm always happy. I'm technically Nigerian inflation proof. So as much as you want to invest, try to make sure that your investments are dollar denominated, not naira denominated. And we can go on and on. So name a figure you want to make next year. The same way you have done it for your business, for your career, do the same thing for your finances, for your net worth. Go and even calculate your net worth. Check your assets, check your debts, check everything, know where you stand. How much are you really worth? It's not because you are working in that big company or you don't have, how much are you really worth? You have 15 plots of land. 15 plots of land, how much are those plots of land really worth? You know, go and ask yourself all those questions. Then break your target into 4. How am I making it in March? How am I making it in June? How am I making, and all that? I will stop there. And I'll just tell you, this URL is wrong. If you want to continue on this journey, I have a 3-day challenge that we will do next weekend or this weekend or next weekend. If you want to come and plan with me, I'm happy to do this for you. The details are in the store. It's about 15K or thereabouts. If you want to have a masterclass with any of the coaches that came, we see this coach, you like him or you like her, there's a masterclass option also. It's in the store up there. But if you want to work with me, you can click the link. I'll drop it while Judah is speaking. There's a 3-day challenge where for 3 days we are sitting down and we are planning. It's not 3 whole days, though. It's just 2 hours every day. But at least it will jumpstart your thinking and challenge your thinking to the things that you're meant to do. And if you want to work with me, I have a digital product academy. I have leadership courses. I have a method where I teach you how to make a digital version of your knowledge. Same thing Emeka said, but similar stuff. There's no competition. Emeka is good. He's ahead. I do my thing. If you also want to have some conversations with me, happy to do that. If you also want to talk about my AI graphics program, where I teach people how to use AI to make graphics and how to quicken their productivity, those are things we can do. So I'll stop here so that Judah can come up. But before I walk away, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And let's call it a day on my session. So invariably, I've just shown you how to get everything together. Number 1, don't plan in isolation. Number 2, challenge yourself. How much am I making? If you're a business person, even if you're not a business person, as a career person, how much are you making? Go check your net worth. How much do you want to have saved or invested by next year? You already know the Nigeria can be bad. It's already been very, very bad. Things have quadrupled. So plan for that. You were not saving before. I told a lot of people in 2020, before things got really bad, that start saving in dollars. A lot of them didn't do it. And I just keep imagining, if they had done it, 2020, dollar was still 360. Just imagine you had $1,000 that you saved since 2020 from 360,000 naira, not doing anything. That money has quadrupled just by being that. Now, multiply that to $10,000, multiply that to $15,000, multiply that to $5,000, and you can see the value of what we're talking about here. So do you have any questions for me before we bring on Mr. Judah? If you want to make any payments over there, I'm going to set up the shop here again and you can talk about it there. No questions for me. Beautiful. Thank you. So I'm free. Mr. Judah, can you come online, please? Samuel, are you talking? No.
Thank you, Mr. Tosin.
Okay, very, very good. So
good evening, everyone. Can I be sure you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm going to be sharing my screen.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay. All right, so my name is Judah Dewsey. I'm a digital marketing consultant with 5 years of experience doing digital marketing, running campaigns for clients. most especially targeted at or specialized doing funnels, setting up funnels for clients. I also work in an IMC company, that's an integrated marketing communications agency, where we do digital marketing for big companies like InterSwitch, Stanbic. So I've seen both ends of running digital marketing campaigns, both for startups, businesses that are just starting, or individuals, and even to big corporations. So my presentation is going to be on money funnels fundamentals, and I'm going to be showing you more assured way of eating from the money pot consistently using funnels. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to Mr. Tosin for this opportunity. Thank you for all the speakers, having every speaker contribute to my learning experience. From years ago, I've been amazed, and I've learned a thing or two from planning my year for my finances, my health, and otherwise. So, in order not to waste your time, I think we're already run out of time. I'll just go straight into the presentation. If you can't hear me anymore, just kind of let me know so that I can make adjustment. And if you can't see my screen, just let me know also. Thank you. All right. So how many of you have seen this before on the screen? This is what is called a funnel, a pictorial representation of a funnel. If you've seen it, can I get a response? If you've not seen something like this, it will also help me to know how. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. It also helped me to know if my audience, how I can explain better or how to go deep on this topic. All right, so I think some of us do have an understanding of what this is. You've seen this before. This is a funnel. In digital marketing, a funnel is basically how you move a prospective buyer from awareness stage to the point where they take action, right? So there are different stages of the funnel: awareness, interest, decision, action. But from what I've seen and experienced, I think if anyone is going to consistently make money, whether in business, you're doing it on the side, whether it's your side also, you're planning that, okay, by 2025, I want to make X amount of money, and I'm going to be investing into selling one or two things. And if you're a professional, or if you're a business person, I say, okay, I want to double what I did this year. I want to double it by next year. You need to have a funnel to help you do that. But what I'm going to be dealing with this evening is not going to be around this, so to speak. We need something much more if we are going to achieve the goals we want to achieve. I've been thinking about what Coach Tobore said during our session, and she was mentioning if you're not making X amount of money in Nigeria, um, there's that's like an extreme sport. So that got to mind, and I've been thinking about it, and I feel if you're going to use a funnel for your business, you want to use it properly, right? And you don't want to earn money. It depends on how you implement what I'm going to be sharing. All right, so let's go for an excursion to Metal, and I want to show you practically what a funnel looks like. So I'll be taking us through to see the meta ads library. I already have it open, so we can quickly see that. So this is meta ads library. If you can see my screen, can you let me know? Can you see the meta ads library? Can I be sure you can see the meta ads library?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, so this is meta ads library. This is where you see what people are doing on Facebook, on Instagram, how they are selling what you're doing. This is where you get to see what everybody's doing. So anybody is running any campaigns, any paid campaigns, like running any ads. I was not in the session where the expert for ads was speaking yesterday. But if you want to see where everybody are running, your competitors, the kind of campaigns they are running, if their campaigns are working, right? This is where you're going to come to. So in the meta art library, I'm just going to pick Nigeria. I know there are some of us that are not currently in Nigeria, but wherever you're located, you can just choose in this section your country, then click on all ads. So once you set that up, you can search for any keywords or any advertiser, any account on Facebook or Instagram. You can come here and search for them, and you can see what you're doing. So if you put in any keyword, and let's say retail, I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. So I'm showing us this to see how the funnel works. So when I go into the analytical thing, it's easier to break down. So this is a search for retail. I'm going to be seeing different kinds of ads for people in the retail industry. What are they selling? So before I scroll down, if you see this, for example, number 18th of December, that's today, around 2 hours ago. If you want to know how that is performing, it should be running for like 3 months and it's still active. Then that's an ad you want to copy or model, depending on your industry or what you're selling. All right, so let's look at this, for instance, the organics. I want to use Montana jewelry here. So this one started running today, and it's running on Facebook and Instagram. So when we click on see ad details, we're able to see what the ad's about. So the person sells jewelry. So what's this person's funnel like? So the person just puts a carousel picture of the product, destination anyone who sees for this campaign. So if you click on the send WhatsApp message, take whoever sees it on Facebook and Instagram straight to WhatsApp, and there there's exchange of value. So there was this client I worked with. I think I've been working with them for like 2 years now. I did one campaign for them last year. It's a manufacturer. They manufacture clothes like Mrs. Me that spoke today. They do ready to wear. They also run contract work for schools, uniforms, and all of those things. So they wanted to run a campaign to get school people to give them contract work. So we did a campaign. We set up the ads. We targeted just Facebook. We observed that there are a lot of groups on Facebook.
We lost him for a few seconds. Let's hope he comes back. Okay, he's back. Okay, I think it's electricity issues or something.
So it's not an electricity issue, it's the network that keep me out. Can I continue? Hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I continue, please? Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, let me try to share my. I think I will have to put off my video so that Yeah. So I was talking about the client that ran this kind of campaign for. So the funnel is basically drive traffic from Facebook or Instagram, where these school owners, proprietors, administrators, where they are, and send them straight to the WhatsApp business, right? Very simple. Get traffic from Facebook, get them to WhatsApp, then engage with them, do negotiations, either book a call when they land in the DM, and sales are made. So that's basically how a funnel is. It's a sales process that shows how a, a, a prospect gets into the business and pays money. All right, so that's one type of funnel. I'm going to be showing you another type of funnel that is not WhatsApp. So you see something like uh okay, look at this campaign. I want to pick another ad that is running currently but is not sending people to WhatsApp. So one of the things you observe is that most people doing retail, they usually send their traffic to WhatsApp for most times for retail, except it's an e-commerce business. And I think we have one here. All right, so if you see, okay, this is for an app. All right, so on that type of funnel, I'm not going to waste our time with that. I can't find, I saw an e-commerce traffic from Facebook from Instagram. Then you send them to a landing page, notified. So this a landing page. This for a client we did a campaign, a sales campaign from Facebook and IG, and the funnel was basically use a testimonial video that shows students that have successfully completed the program to make soap production, right, and send them here. Once they come to the sales page, there's a lot of marketing automation in play on this page. And the copy, you can see, is quite lengthy. So this is part of the funnel. This is part of the funnel. How you communicate what you're selling. If you don't want to use WhatsApp and you think you can afford to use something like a website or a landing page, this is what you're going to do. You just send the traffic, then anyone who comes on that landing page or sales page is going to be directed straight to Singer.co. Now, some people who run campaigns they get their traffic from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, right? Especially Facebook, and they send it straight to the Singer product page. That's a very bad way. That's a very bad way to sell. Yeah, some people make sales like that. But if you are selling to a cold audience, people that have never known you before, that's a very bad way to sell. Better to send them to a sales page like I just showed you. Then they come to the product page. Then when they click on buy now, anyone who clicks on buy now is going to be taken to the checkout page where they pay. And once they pay, they'll be redirected to a Telegram community, right, where they get the delivery of the product. Also, they also get an email from seller that shows them their order, and they can get the product and be part of the community. That is another type of funnel, right? So back to this. So I'm unable to really go deep into what I wanted to do because of our time, but I'm going to continue with this. So now, a marketing and sales funnel is what you should have when you have found three things. when you have a buying market and a good understanding of that market, a tested products or offers that the market has paid you for, a process for selling it. Now, I know you have some of us, we already having our plans for 2025 and you want to make a lot of money. You want to make double, triple, or 5x or 10x of what you're already making in 2024. That's good. But if you don't have an offer that somebody has paid you for, it is risky to start thinking of using a funnel, right? It is very risky. Is it possible to sell with a funnel if you have never sold a product before without a funnel? Very possible, but it's very risky. If you have a lot of money, then maybe you can do that. But if you're just starting out, it's best to send it offline. Try to offer what you're trying to sell at scale to people offline. Then once you have seen the objections, why people are buying what you're buying, did they like the product? Is it a good price point? Once you're able to establish all those dynamics, it is now wiser for you to now put it on the funnel and get things running. Now, I've showed you two types of funnel. The one where you send traffic from a paid platform like Facebook, IG, using ads straight to WhatsApp. That's not expensive. But I've also shown you another type of funnel where you get traffic from Facebook, Instagram, you send it to a sales page, then you connect a product page where there's a lot of email marketing automation unity, right? So to consulting, I used to run campaigns. If I just get a client, I don't consult them first. I just know what do they want and do it. You pay me, we establish. But I've observed that most times these clients they don't understand the result they want is not realistic. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to walk them through a strategy session and see how I can. Then one pay for the campaign, then run the campaign. For two new clients for free first. And I say, okay, now I've done this. Can I get someone to pay me for each session? Often I'll commit. I'm My apologies. The next game. I'm almost done. Can I be sure you can hear me?
Loud
If you
and
can
clear.
hear me, I'd like to continue. Thank you so much. My apologies once again. Right. So I was saying, so I said, can I test it to see if somebody is going to pay me? Then I did a tryout at 5,000. Next client, the next client, I said, okay, can I sell it for more than what I sold it before, 50K? It worked. Then I began to understand, okay, I think this is something that most people who want to run marketing campaigns, parity, they are very unsure of what they are going into, especially if they are first time buyers who are going into running funnels, doing funnels, running marketing campaigns, using paid advertising, right? So when I saw that, that's something that would work, I said, okay, I think I can now put this funnel. So you need to have a buy market. If you have something that people are already buying, and you've tested it, people are already paying for it, and there's already a process, why not? This is the best time for you to use a funnel. And now, disclaimer here, you don't need to um, you don't need to paid traffic is not the only way to get what's it called, to get traffic, right, for people to come into your business. Paid traffic is not the only means. There are different means to get people to come into your business and become buyers. It's not the paid traffic. So if you are just starting out, you've never really done that, or you've done it before and you failed, I think you just need to take it slow. Like the last two speakers were saying, she was mentioning something that she tried. She wanted to make 5K, but she started at 1K 5. Let her do that first. Then when she did it, she didn't make 1K 5, but she did 1,000. Then she saw it's possible for her to do more than that. So you want to start small, right? You already have something, you can start using that WhatsApp funnel. You can decide to use paid traffic, right? And get people to come into your WhatsApp DM. Or you can use quality people to get interested into what you're doing. You just need to find collaborations. Yes, thank you, Mr. Tosin. You need to find networks. If you can reach out to people, podcast, one of those easy ways to get people organic traffic. So you can start with organic traffic. And I'm going to be showing you practically how you're going to do that. And once you can get people to come into your business, it becomes easy to take them to the next stage, from awareness to consideration to the point where they buy and all of that. So now this is like a plan. If you want to make 33 million in 2025, some people have lesser goals. Yes, some people have more that they're intending to achieve in 2025. So this is just a breakdown, a practical breakdown of how you can do it using a funnel, right? 33 million in 2025 is 4.5 first quarter, 4.5 second quarter, third quarter, 9 million, fourth quarter, 15 million. 4.5 for the first two quarters because by this time you are using the funnel for the first time. You are kind of learning the ropes. You are kind of seeing what people are responding to. So you are not going to hit 20 million for the first time, except you have a lot of money that you want to use for paid advertising and all of those things. I think we did a campaign for someone. I think Mr. Tosin, we did a campaign this year, and yes, they use ads. They use ads to get leads, and the person was able to make over 2 million naira using just a WhatsApp funnel, right? They just got leads to come in from Instagram straight to WhatsApp. There's a WhatsApp group. There's an engagement. There's a free webinar from the WhatsApp group. After the free webinar, they are upsold to get into the paid programs, right? So it's very possible to do 4.5 in a quarter, right? 90 days, first 90 days in a quarter, target 4.5. Second 90 days, do it again. By the time you're doing it in the second quarter, you already have more experience. Your confidence levels are already high. You may not hit 4.5 totally in the first quarter, but you should be able to do something close to that. Then by the second quarter, it's easy to even do more than 4.5. Then third quarter is just to scale up from there. So how do you do this? You can use either a low ticket offer, a mid ticket offer, a high ticket offer, or this type of offer. So if you have a low ticket offer of 5,000 to 25,000, 50 sales in 90 days. No, 50 sales to 150 sales in 30 days. In the first quarter is very possible, right? You can do 1.5. You can, if you don't want to use a low ticket offer, I say no, I don't want to use a low ticket offer. I want to use a mid ticket offer. I just need 10 to 20 sales. People that are going to pay me between 50K to 150K, they're going to eat that number, right? 1.5 in 30 days. Then within 90 days, you can do the numbers. If you have ads, you can get there quickly, right? That's if you can pay for advertising. If you can't afford ads, then you need to do a lot more work, using organic reach out and content using social media, daily content that's going to get people to leave other people's platform to come into your platform. So basically, if you say you have a funnel, it means that you have a way of getting people from other people's platform into your own platform. So if you have an Instagram account, it's not your platform. If you have a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, it's not yours. It belongs to Mark and Paul. So, right. So you need to find a way to get them from those platforms and bring them into your own platform. If you have a WhatsApp group, it's also WhatsApp platform, right? It becomes your own when you can easily access the contact of these people that you are getting from other people's platforms. On IG and Facebook, people do a lot of sales on there, which is cool, but anything can happen and you can lose all of those things, right? A secured funnel is one that you are in control of the contacts that you're selling to, right? So if you don't want to do mid-ticket offers, you can go ahead to do high-ticket offers, 1 to 5 sales, between 300K to 1 million. You can do. People are doing these things in Nigeria. It's all in the mind. There are people that are doing these things in this same Obodo, Nigeria. So it's just for you to decide, okay, as I'm going to 2025, these are the numbers, this is my goal, this is my target, these are the numbers. Now, please listen up. Before I move to my slides are not much, just 2 more and I'm done. Before I move to the next slide, I need to note this, please, that when you start, right? Let's say you decide to start with a meat. If you are doing organic, it's easier to sell something that is higher priced than low ticket doing organic, right? If you are using all these targets. But if you are using a paid means of getting people into your own business, you can use low ticket offers to do that really quickly, right? So these things are possible. It's just in the mind. If you determine to get them done, you can get these things done. You don't need to get 1,000 sales unless you want to make like $1 million and you have a lot of money to spend. All right. So if funnel is a working funnel, when you can get leads to come in daily, when you can get daily follow-up working together, and when you have offers, more than one offers. If you are just starting out, at least you should have one offer. If you can have this formula in place, you will always make money, right? I worked at a startup digital marketing agency, I think about 3 years ago. I think 3, 4 years ago. And but our own campaigns, we're not really doing so much. So we decided to do some campaigns for ourselves. So we are getting leads. We know how to do these things. We know how to get people to come in. We are spending money on ads. We're getting leads. But we're not using a lot of follow-ups. So we're not really making money as we thought we should. And this problem lingered on for months until we discovered that, okay, the problem is not in getting a lot of people to come in. It's not difficult to get people to come in. But follow-up, that's where the money is, right? And that's where I don't agree with that image that I showed you at the top of my slide. You don't want to have something that is like a funnel, something that people can come in and just pass out. You want something that people can come in, can keep them there. Of course, in business, loss and churn is normal, right? But you want to have a funnel that people can come in and they can stay there, and you can keep them there, and you can keep engaging them and making money off them. People have money to spend again and again, but anybody that will have like this money portfolio that I'm talking about, you must have a way to get the leads using either paid ads or organic or a combination of both. Then you must have a way to communicate daily. There's this woman that Mr. Tosin introduced me to. She sells books on IG. That woman, she posts every day, every single day. She's always communicating, and she's always making sales from the same group of people. You don't want to hear how much she's making. I think she makes over 15 million naira in a year and just selling books on IG. Right? But she has a community that's her own, and she posts every single day. There are lots of people that are doing this, or not so much, because most people just want to make money and forget about it, then start the process all over. But if you don't want to have a sales process where you're always starting afresh every single month, you just need to have a standard process that gets you leads every single day, every week, every month. You are getting leads. Then you are communicating with those leads. That's why you are creative. If you're a mid-sized business or a big business and you're not the only person, you can hire somebody to do it for you, to do the phone up, to do the communication, to do the storytelling, to keep selling. They need to have offers. If you are selling one offer for a whole year, it's possible to do that, but people will easily get tired. But if you are getting daily leads coming in, you will still sell. But if you have more than one offers, you can keep selling to the people that bought from you in January, in August. You can sell to them again in August. You can sell to them in March. You can sell to them in November and even in December when you have multiple offers. So this is how it is. It's not rocket science. It's not a secret. This is just the thing to do. Get leads, do follow up, have offers that they want to buy, and that's it. So if you have any questions, I'm open to taking your questions. If you don't have any questions, I don't know. I think I can hand over to Mr. Tosin if there's anything that is not clear or I need to clarify. Please can you let me know. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, and that's my account on LinkedIn, Judah Adelsi. Over to you, Mr. Tosin. I hope that I've been able to communicate something of value this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judah. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Judah? This is like the crux of if you are in business or if you have a product you want to sell, this is the crux of it. This session with David, what was it, David? Yeah, David Agbola yesterday. These are two critical people that you need. All the other people are mentors that are telling you some things, but if you really want to sell, like you remember, Umi mentioned how much she spends on marketing and what she does on marketing. If you go to her videos, to her Instagram, you see that consistent posting. Emeka is big on Facebook and maybe whatever platform he's using. And he's consistently posting. He's consistently posting, he's consistently doing stuff. That's one thing. But it's one thing for you to post. Posting is different. And what do the kind of people that you like or want to buy from you, what do they like? That's another thing. I have a customer, she sells children's books. She brings them in by containers. She's sometimes dancing, she's sometimes talking about her books. I've said, okay, you don't have to do videos every day. She said, people, if she does not do video, people don't buy. And that's how she grows her channels, her profile. So funnels matter a lot. Like I said, if there was one thing I learned this year, it was funnels, it was collaboration. I'll give an example. I have about 200 registrations plus now for this event. Last week, Saturday, 1 week after I had started publicizing the event, we were at 70. Yes, Judah can help you run adverts. So Judah designs your funnel for you and Judah will help you. So you can talk to me or you can talk to Judah. We can guide you on who to do that with you. I'll let Judah talk to that, but let me just finish quickly. Most of the people who are at this event, 75% of them came from Dr. Blessing. And this was just collaboration because we've been working on a project since August. Now, I am not the guy who wakes up early in the morning to post online and to invite customers to come and buy from me. No, for me, I'm the tech guy, I'm a thinker. I would rather just schedule it for 3 weeks and let it run on autopilot. I'd get a VA to do that for me. So if you are doing an event and you want me to design the event for you, my event will always have quality. But that publicity, I can guide you on how to do it. But for me to now wake up, show up on camera, show up and post, maybe I've scheduled it. But someone like Dr. Blessing, she will jump on the camera, she will do everything. Even Wumi too jumps you. If you go to her profile, you see her on video, you see her everything. It's their nature. It's not bad. It's not sinful. It's not a crime. But it's just their nature. Me, I'm a thinker. I'm a reserved guy. I will sit down and strategize. I can build Buckingham Palace in my head, and I'll tell you to go and check it out. And you see that it is exactly there. I just see that the owners of ChatGPT just released a feature whereby you can chat with ChatGPT on WhatsApp. I had that feature as early as April 2023. I had that feature running. The owners of the software have just released their own in 2024 December. My own version was 18 months early. That's how smart I am. But to sell and market and make noise, don't call me. I can give you the strategy, but to sell, it's not me. So collaborations matter a whole lot. That's where I'm going at the end of the day. Your visibility, your collaborations, your organic flow, all your flows, you need to understand them. And that's why you need a funnel expert, you need a digital ads expert, you need somebody that can help you with visibility. One more thing, the lady who I said is planning to do 10,000 students in her class, she knows that she sends mails to people. 30% of the people that she sends mail to bring a particular percentage of money. She runs ads every day. She spends, how much did she say she spends? She spends up to ₦1 million every month on ads and a whole lot of stuff that she does to get customers. But guess what? She knows that for her to get 10,000, and Judah, you can share your thoughts on this in a moment. She knows that for her to get 10,000 paying customers, she needs to do ads so that 100,000, 150,000 people will see her ads. That is the reach. Because these things are, like Wumi said, these things are metrics. So there's a 10% success rate. There's a 10%, 20%, 30% in marketing. When you have a 30% success rate of whatever you have sold or you have advertised, that is a great success. So she knows that if she's going to get 10,000 people from online stuff, she's going to have to show her products to 150,000 people so that she can land at 8,000, 9,000. Then some other people will come from her Facebook posts, some other people. And guess what? The grants lady was here yesterday. This lady that I'm talking about won $125,000 in grants in 2024. She invested in a grant expert. So she won a grant of $125,000, which means she has won almost 200 million naira to run her online business. So she doesn't need a big office. Her staff strength is not more than 10. How much is she going to pay as salary? And somebody has blessed her with 175, 200 million naira for her business. She can take her money out. These are the kind of things we are talking about. So Judah, please respond to Rizkat's question. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Tosin. Thank you for having me once again. Yeah, so you can connect with me. It's very possible to run these ads for you. I think somebody like Mr. Tosin, if, for instance, if you don't have clarity on the offer and you need help with that, I think Mr. Tosin can put you through on that. He can help guide you. And once you have clarity on it and you can test the offer, of course, it's very possible for us to help you to run the ads and to manage it, to set up the funnel. Very possible. So you can connect with me on either LinkedIn or Telegram. I've posted it in in the comments. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? So I'm dropping my details. It's because many people don't know me. I've sent you a mobile number. Please don't call the mobile number. Just drop a WhatsApp message. Just drop a WhatsApp message. If you call it, it's not going to be picked, but you can just send a WhatsApp message and we'll attend to you. Okay, so it's time to go, but I have one more request from you. I have a feedback form that I need you to please help me fill. I'm going to drop it in the chat window. Help us fill it and help us. It's a Google form that you just put your thoughts, what you feel about the event, what you've learned, and things like that. So please help me put your thoughts in it. I've shared the event store with you, and I'll still share it with you later on. Please help us. If you need to talk to any of the coaches, if you need to buy any of their products, that is where you are going to connect with them from. And you can, if you want a master class, with any of the coaches, you can talk to me. I mean, buy one of the packages there and we'll organize a master class. So I'm dropping the feedback link for you. Please spend a few moments. It's all we can ask for. We're not forcing you to buy anything. If not, we will have made the event not to be free. So, but the feedback matters to us so that we can do a better plan in future. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying all the way to the end, Wumi. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, Mr. Shegun, always learning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. I'll leave for 2 minutes before we go. I'll leave the mic open. Anybody can unmute themselves. If you have any questions or any comments or any feedback, anything we need to note in future, Grace, Samuel, one of the first people to come in. There's another Ajayi gentleman. I can't see him here. Thank you very much. If you have any comments, feedback, just unmute your mic, and then in the next 2 minutes, we call it an evening. And I think this is a very beautiful way to end your half week. And Okwe, I see you. Thank you. UK gang, we see you. Thank you. If you have any comments, feedback, please open your mic, say one or two things, and let's call it a day.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, Mr. Tosi. I'm so happy to be part of this session tonight. It's been really exciting, and I look forward to connecting more with you. It's mind-blowing with all the speakers. It's been excellently delivered, and just want to say thank you, and I wish you all the best. Thanks a lot, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions, feedback? I'm told that the feedback form is not available. Let me see what the problem is. I'm going to try and fix that now. Any other feedback, please? No feedback.
Hi.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a very interesting session from yesterday to today, and I really want to thank the organizers for being considerate. This program should have been paid, but we thank you for giving us the opportunity to have it for free. And I'm sure the 24 hours timeline for the review, or like the recorded version, is also a plus or a freebie, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Coach Tosin.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, it is exactly 35 minutes past. It's 35 minutes past. Thank you, everyone. And then we can call it an evening. I'm trying to I'm not sure why Google Form is threatening me tonight. This is something I do every time, and I'm not sure what's going on. Please, can you access the link now? Yes. The form is requesting for access. I've sent it again. Does it work now? Please help me try.
Yeah, it's open now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you. Please help me fill the form. I really need it. Thanks for the kind words, Toby. Thanks for the kind words, Samuel. Thank you, everyone. If you want to join the planning session, I'm giving 2 options, either this weekend or next weekend, but we must plan before the new year starts. That's the best way to do it. And if you think we should do it in the new year, well, I'll do it for you, but I'll be closing my own personal planning this new year. So let's win together. All the best, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying to the end. God bless you and good night.